All right, we should be ready to go. Let's see. All right, yeah, we live. So I wonder who's gonna show up from like the Wrench Gang now, because normally, like, I think Trev said he was gonna I think he said he was gonna pop in, and I think he got off work around like 6 or something like that. I reached out to Ty. He might be busy though. I didn't get a message from him.
Oh man, my other phone is dead. Yeah, I really thought that Jon Gruden thing was kind of a shocker.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest issue is this, right? You would think in this kind of situation that you would want a situation to just like die out and just at least to me, right? Like you've been sent to the ringer, you lost your job, and you kind of just want it to be swept under the rug. But
right,
doing this now brings it like way back to the top of what it was after it was already dying down, and it could be one of those situations to where like he's using it obviously to stay in the limelight and to keep making money, you know.
Well, I either think it's that or because like I was saying to you before, that Gruden was never employed by the NFL in 2011 when this email was sent. And Gruden didn't get signed until 2019 when he re-signed back with the Raiders.
Well, and I'll pull it up.
His attorney probably thought, well, that to release him like that could, because he was never hired to him when he made these comments and statements, and they try to put the freedom of speech kind of thing there. But I don't agree with Gruden's his statement in the first place. I couldn't believe that he would even make, because I mean, you've seen him on TV with different races.
Mm-hmm.
And he never acts or, portrays any of that. And then when this article comes out, it's like, it's the biggest shock thing. I've heard Skip and Shannon talk about it, and Shannon seemed really upset about it.
So I'm just looking through his career. So he started as it looks like is this college? What is this? Yeah. Okay. So he started with college back in Tennessee in 86 and 87, went on to Missouri State in 88, Pacific in 89, and then he was an offensive assistant back in 90 for the San Francisco 49ers. Looks like he then left and then went back to college. He did the University of Pittsburgh. Then he came back as an offensive assistant, quality coach for the Green Bay Packers. Was a wide receiver coach for the Packers in 93, 94. Was the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles from 95 to 97. And then was the head coach for the Raiders in 98 to 2001. So he's been in and around the league for a long time.
Yeah.
And I guess
I think what was Gruden's wasn't it Tampa Bay Buccaneers when Gruden was the last time he was a head coach?
Yeah, so he coached the Oakland Raiders from 98 to 01, and then he went to Tampa Bay from 2002 to 2008.
So about 08 is when he exited. That's right when he signed with ESPN.
Yeah. So what's kind of crazy though is this too. Like I said, he's been in the league for a long time. So in a sense, I mean, it would kind of, I guess that argument that he wasn't in the NFL is kind of like null, right? Because he was around the league.
Right. He was an analyst, I think, for Monday Night Football at that time. I want to say.
Yeah. And I guess that's the argument that he can go with, right? He can say, hey, I wasn't working for the NFL. I was just an analyst on ESPN, so I can still fall back on my freedom of speech.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the big picture, right? Like the big money factor. So it's like he was on a 10-year, $100 million contract.
Yep.
For the Raiders. So obviously, I would say there's two things here. Someone either didn't want to pay him any more money and wanted him just out of the job, or he pissed someone off.
Oh yeah.
Because
I think it was more hung over Mark Davis, and Mark Davis would never gave Gruden up, and this allegation never came out. I guess Gruden's been really loyal to the Davises for quite a while. Yeah, he's watched Mark Davis grow up. You see what I mean?
Okay.
Like back in '98, Mark was still young. In his college years, when Gruden was in college, he was still in contact with Al Davis, the late great Al Davis. But since that happened, he would have to resign him, or maybe the Raiders would have picked up a hefty fine, and then they would, put him on the NFL exempt list, Gruden. So try to stop all of that was that he had let him resign.
Do you think this was like made bigger than what it should have been because of cancel culture?
No, his remarks is racist. It's far racist before my mother was even born. I mean, we know those types of sayings is very racist.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I get it if you made those types of remarks and it was the same race as Jon Gruden, okay, that's not racist. But when it becomes like, if you're white and he's another African American or Asian or anything, and you make those type of statements, and they're racist statements,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I believe he deserves to be taken out. He should have never, ever made those types of comments.
So it's real easy to play like devil's advocate, right? Because we've got freedom of speech, but then also it's kind of like, freedom of speech is it comes with consequences. You can't just say what you want, no matter who you are.
Right. No matter who you are.
Yeah, no matter who you are. And, it doesn't even have to just be like a black or white thing. It can be, a gender thing. It can be, sexism thing. It's a lot of different ways you can go about it.
Right.
But, in the same instance, it's kind of one of those situations to where you're looking at someone who is in a position of power. They're dealing with minorities. They're coaching minorities. And so you can't obviously have that going on. But the problem with it is it was so long ago, right? So just as an example, right, we'll use regular people. So let's say it goes back to what I posted earlier, right? Let's say you were a drunk 20 years ago, right? And you've cleaned up you've been clean for a long time. You haven't had one sip of alcohol. And then you're on this job and then you get fired because they say, we found out that you drank so many years ago, and I know that's like far-fetched and reaching, but it's, in a sense, it's kind of like the same thing. Like, can someone change whether they were a drunk, whether they were racist, whether they had a domestic violence situation, like any kind of aspect that could obviously affect in general, someone's career? Can someone change and be forgiven, or is it just straight up, you do something bad, you're going to pay the consequences for it 10 years later?
Well, the main thing, I think, since we've done the Colin Kaepernick thing, remember the Colin Kaepernick thing where they kneeled for justice?
Yep.
The NFL started to reshape itself. More to the lines of we are not going to take anything racist or against, you know, the LBGQ group, anything.
Yeah.
We are all together as one, and I'm sure that in their contracts, somewhere when they sign their contracts, that they will never make racist statements, judge another person by, you know, whatever sex they believe that they are, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's probably guys that said, no, I'm not a guy, I'm a female. And there's probably females like, no, I'm not a female, I'm a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there's somewhere in those contracts they signed that and they read that. And the NFL is shaping themselves to, hey, we're not going to have this here. And I believe they have the right to do that as long as they've been shaping it out like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like someone just pulled a couple of bones out the closet for Jon Gruden for you know, how they're reshaping the NFL, and he's like, "Oops, well, I didn't mean to do that." And it was really shocking when it first came out, the allegation, and you know, I was really shocked because I've watched Jon Gruden, you know, do just not the NFL ESPN analyst, but you know, where he sits around with quarterbacks and, you know, and he talks about different forms, different routes, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it never seemed like he was ever like that person to make that statement. So that's what made it really crazy for me, because I knew it. As soon as I read the article, I knew he wasn't going to have a job.
Yeah. Yeah, I did too.
I knew he was getting fired.
Yeah.
Well, luckily he didn't get fired. He got to resign instead of being fired.
Well,
I think it's more. I think the money-wise thing, I think that's what they're gunning for, like a certain amount of money that they feel like either the NFL is going to pay him or the Las Vegas Raiders are going to pay him for his time being there.
Yeah. I definitely do think that, you know, obviously you should get paid for your job, right? So if you have a contract and it's basically in regards to this amount of money, I mean, obviously, you know, you have to look into the contract and what it stipulates and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very sure there's nothing in the contract that states, hey, you know, we get to fire you or you have to resign, and we don't have to pay you any money from something that if we find out something that happened 10 years ago. You know, I don't think in that sense that's going to hold up in court, right? I don't think that's going to be in the contract. Now, if it's a question of ethics, because I'm sure the NFL has this whole like team of people in ethics and all that kind of stuff that goes far and in between everything else that they have. That's what's going to be the main factor, right? It was an ethics situation, and that's why, you know, he had to leave the league. So they're able to make that decision, and just like I think even with the regular person, right? New York State, we have it's called right to decision or something like that. It's like in regards to jobs, right? You can quit whenever you want, or you can get fired whenever they want to fire you. So. But on both sides of the spectrum, there's you know, no liability to be had based on specific factors. Like it's weird how they put it, but I'm assuming the NFL has their lawyers, you know, in their favor as far as within these contracts.
Yeah, because it's not even towards the Oakland Raiders. It's towards the NFL and the commissioner Goodell.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just wondering if Roger Goodell is the one that set this up for him to, hey, we're going to have him resign, or we'll find you a certain amount of money, and then we'll put Jon Gruden on an exempt list.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, Ben.
Well,
I just find it.
I was going to say, this is what it says. So Former Las Vegas Raiders coach Jon Gruden is suing the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell in the wake of his private emails being leaked amid an investigation into the Washington football team. Gruden's attorney, Adam Hosmer of McDonald Carano, said in a statement that the lawsuit was filed in the 8th Judicial District Court in Clark County, Nevada. The complaint alleges that the defendants selectively, that's a big word, right? Selectively leaked Gruden's private correspondence to the Wall Street Journal and New York Times in order to harm Gruden's reputation and force him out of his job. That's in quote. Hosmer Henner said there is no explanation or justification for why Gruden's emails were the only ones made public out of 650,000 emails collected in the NFL's investigation of the Washington football team, or for why the emails were held for months before being released in the middle of the Raiders season.
Yeah, because I also saw on that they're trying to get a hold of the Atlanta Falcon emails. They've been asking for those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, if there's a ongoing thing, because some of these guys, they grow up with each other, so they're buddy, and
yeah, of course.
And so they make statements to each other, and thought, oh, well, guess what? I have this on him.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just pull this up. Because I just don't. Why they waited so long to release this at 10 years? 10 years. I mean, it should have been released before Jon Gruden even signed his name to the dotted line of the 2019 season.
And I guess my whole thing is this too. Like, what else is in those 650,000 emails? Because if he felt comfortable to say what he said, I'm pretty sure that there's other conversations in there that they just haven't released, right? How much did they omit when they released his stuff?
Has the guy that he sent that to, has he sent something back to Gruden? I mean, that could be in a play too.
Exactly. Did they leave out those part of the conversations and just highlighted what he had said? I guess that's what's really in question, because it just doesn't make sense. So, but yeah, that's the story. Jon Gruden suing the NFL, Roger Goodell, saying that he was forced off his job. Serious Biz is in the comments. He says that hardly any worker protection nationwide, and the unions have been pinched for decades. He thinks Gruden has a fantabulous chance of getting his money. It's like extortion in my thinking. I mean, yeah. I mean, somebody could have said, you don't know it, like these closed door conversations, right? So it could have been something on the lines of, hey, you do what we say, and if you don't, we're going to release these emails. And he's like, the hell do you? Go ahead and release the emails, and then, now we're in this situation. Then I've got Deshaun Crowder. He says, why is Jon Gruden suing NFL? So Jon Gruden had basically had he sent some emails about 10 years ago that were basically unfavorable. And there was a lot of, racist stuff being said in these emails. And they have recently been released by the NFL to the Wall Street Journal and a couple of other news sources, which led to him resigning and leaving the NFL, and subsequently being at this point suing the NFL and Roger Goodell. So that's basically why we're at this point. So yeah, we'll definitely stay on top of that one and keep an eye out on it. Next, we've got Aaron Rodgers. Another one that's has been no stranger to controversy in the last week. He's back in full effect for Sunday's game against Seattle. How you feel about that one?
I believe he's ready. But that's like one of the things that I guess he's not vaccinated, and to go to a large group to be fined like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure he's probably got the money for something like that.
Yeah. So I'm looking through the story. They said that he's met protocols for returning to play, set by the NFL and NFLPA, which is the National Football League's Player Association, for those who are listening and don't know. Setting the stage for the quarterback to return when Green Bay hosts the Seattle Seahawks, and which is fitting, right? Because Russell Wilson's back on Sunday. So it's going to be like this big event. It's going to be this big thing. Specifically because, he was out and due to COVID and all this kind of stuff. Do you think that the stage has been set, I would say, for him to, I don't know, I want to say him to come back and just, hey, I'm the man and I've defeated this situation and just go out and play ball? Or do you think it's going to mentally affect him and he's going to have a bad game?
No, I've seen Aaron, be injured and come back, 3-4 weeks later and play an awesome game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think being rusty or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he's one of the great pros that you would like to see on your team.
I don't mean to cut you off.
He has to sit back. If he wants to make the playoffs and make a run for a championship, he's going to have to think way better and much clearer than saying, I'm going to just do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because it not only hurts him, but it also hurts his team.
100%.
And I want to say that Green Bay's defense kind of held them into that game against Kansas City. Kansas City could have walked all over them, and Green Bay's defense kind of helped them stay in that game and only lose by 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron's got to look at that all the way across the board. It's just not about him.
So
there's no INT.
Exactly. Trev Bot's in the building. Trev's actually been missing for a little bit. He's on. He was messaging me earlier. We was going back and forth. He said he was going to be on. He's here now. Trev Bot, it's me and Jonas on here, man. And we going back and forth. Saturday night we talking football. We talking pretty much everything. We just chilling. Anyone in the comments, if you're just listening, you want to hop in. This is an open discussion. But Trev asked what he missed, and the first thing we talked about was the Jon Gruden situation. He was how he's suing the NFL, and that basically that situation in itself, and we're kind of just chopping up, going back and forth, and getting an idea as far as why would he want to basically bring something back up that was kind of just like dying out, and going from there. But, now we're on the Aaron Rodgers story. He's cleared from COVID to go back and play on Sunday against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And, whether or not that's going to affect his play and his mindset. And like Jonas just said, there's no I in team. And I think that he's shined the light on the Packers in a negative way. And in a sense, they got a slap on the wrist, right? With, the low fines, and $300,000 to the Packers is nothing. $14,000 to Aaron Rodgers is nothing. So in a sense,
go
ahead.
I guarantee you, within a week, they make quad that much off of ticket sales and
just the food itself,
and all hats and stuff like that. So that's probably just some chump change to them.
Yeah. Yeah, they made that money back, and they're gonna make their money back in no time. And in fact, they're gonna make it all back tomorrow. Which is, like I said, it's kind of one of those situations where they got a slap on the wrist, and it's kind of sad because if you're gonna make an example, do it the right way. If you're gonna fine them that much money, you might as well just not even do it.
Well, I'm sure they had a little sit down with him.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
What do you say? Trev says Green Bay invested $120 million last year in real estate. Wasn't even in the team. What do you mean by that, Trev? 100 120 million in real estate. What is that? Let me search that in Google and see what's going on with that.
I'm sure that's probably around in their vicinity of their subdivision and stuff like that. Because Green Bay is what do you call it? It's kind of like here we have Walmart, which you would know where Walmart's everywhere. But also we have this place called Harps, and that's like employee owned. Like someone inside a family owns this, and it only goes out to certain areas in Arkansas. It doesn't go out of state. Well, Green Bay is like that. Their money goes into their community, basically. They're not like the Cowboys. You know how the Cowboys are giving money back to the NFL and stuff like that. Green Bay's been like that since 1970, before the first Super Bowl. It's all about their money. So they probably invest that inside their community because Green Bay is really not that big.
I'm actually looking at it now. It says the Packers were able to make up for the loss from COVID with money earned in the investment fund. That they made $120 million in 2021, following a loss of $21 million in 2020. So yeah, that $300,000 penalty is a drop in the bucket compared to the $120 million they've made.
Right. And they're, the people that live around in there, they take care of their community.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't break people's legs and arms for a ticket being sold. Because you ever notice, like, season ticket or preseason tickets are different from season tickets to postseason.
Yeah.
They kind of go up. Especially if you want to get up close and personal and stuff like that. You're looking at $1,000.
So
for just one seat.
I was going to say Trevbot's saying that they're the only team that doesn't have an owner, because I know they're owned by basically the public.
Yes.
And Mark Murphy is the strongest GM in the league. I mean, I can't not agree with that, to be honest. It's just crazy because I'm reading through this article now, and it's saying that Rodgers was able to visit team meetings, obviously virtually, but he didn't go to practice. So okay, if you're not vaccinated, you still get to play? Is that what's going on? Like, he still gets to play, because I don't see anything about him being vaccinated or nothing like that.
He's not vaccinated, but the biggest thing is that he went to that party, and also when he's standing on the sideline and he's not wearing his helmet, they want him to wear a mask. I think that was fitted in there too. They want him to wear a mask whenever he's like off the field and not wearing his helmet.
So basically, he gets to play unvaccinated, but when he's on the sideline, he's got to wear a mask.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. I here's what I wonder, right? I wonder what kind of atmosphere that's creating in the locker room. Because obviously they have a job to do, right? They've got to win football games. That's the job. But there's got to be some kind of like animosity. If I'm your teammate and I took a shot, and you kind of gave the inkling that you were vaccinated or immunized, whatever, and then this happens, what kind of emotions are you having? Do you just say, you know what, screw it, whatever, I'm just going to run out here and catch these passes or run this ball for the win? Or do you think there's going to be like some kind of like rift there between him and whatever player?
To me, I think it's most likely that Aaron Rodgers is he's the captain, so they're just going to follow suit with him. They're going to stand beside him. Well, most of I think players. I don't know about coaches, because like the head coach and Aaron Rodgers have bumped heads before, especially like last year.
Yep.
I'm still shocked that they even took a quarterback, Jordan Love. Not saying that, they can start finding somebody, but they only have, Devontae Adams. Why can't Aaron Rodgers got another good wideout? I mean, to make this team more powerful, then bring back Randall Cobb, who, went to Dallas, went somewhere, I don't know who else he went to. I want to say the Texans or something like that, and then came back to Green Bay.
Yeah. Trev, yeah, call in, bro. Call in. We'll get you in here as well. The number's on the screen. I mean, anybody else that's watching, call in as well. But if you want to talk, obviously, just raise your hand. We don't want everybody talking at once. And, we want to definitely try to keep it clean for the most part, and just be respectful of others. But, yeah, Trev, if you want to call in, go ahead. I'll accept you, and then we can get you on the conversation, bro. So, yeah, to be honest, we know that, Aaron Rodgers is talented, and he's going to do what he does. I just think this was a distraction that Green Bay didn't need. It's one of those things where he did a disservice to his team in general, But we'll see, because tomorrow's going to determine it all. Trev says he's going to call in a minute, so he'll be on the call in a second. And we'll just, keep going with it. So NBA, for my NBA fans, Steph Curry passes Ray Allen for the most three-pointers made in NBA history. That's crazy news.
What, he dropped 40 points last night, right?
Yeah, 40 points. They won 119-93. And what's funny is people were going in. They're like, oh, the Bulls are going to expose the Warriors, and the Warriors, their streak is going to end tonight, And I'm like, well, Chicago looks good, but I don't think. But at the time, I didn't think that. Who's that 319? Who's that?
Hey, that's me.
Trev? What's up, Trev?
Hey, what's up, man?
Good, Trev.
How's it going, guys? Jonas, how you doing, man?
Doing good, brother. I'm doing good.
All right. Good to hear.
Trev, good to hear your voice, bro.
Yeah, man. It's good seeing your face. Good hearing Jonas.
Definitely.
So, the family's getting a little closer, man.
Yeah,
we've been worried about you.
Yeah, man. Well, first off, I want to say, I know you've been going through some stuff, and I've been, thinking about you a lot. For me, it's not just a channel. You guys are definitely like my family. All of you are. And
respect.
We're sitting on here for hours every week on a Sunday, on a Monday, on a Thursday, and I've come to learn a lot about you guys. So to hear that you're going through something really had me in my thoughts for you, and I hope everything's going good, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, and you've definitely pulled me out of a dark spot, kept me company, and I mean, I'm not gonna do like a selfless a promotion or anything, but if you want to know my story, you can go to Facebook and type in #WeLoveLucy.
Okay.
And you can catch up on my daughter's life and everything we've been going through. But it's it's a little crazy, but let's do this damn thing.
So you said #WeLoveLucy?
Yeah, We Love Lucy. Just like the old TV show, my daughter's name is Lucy. She's had a long battle, in and out of hospital visits. She's got a lot of shit going on. And, it's just, it's part of life. It's the cards you're dealt. And she's probably the strongest person I've ever met in my life. But I'm trying to assimilate, hospital visits and raising her as a medical parent, and trying to get back into society like we all are, and
Okay.
still trying to enjoy football and sports and keeping up to date with all you guys.
So who's
it's a juggle for sure.
Who's Candy?
Candy's my wife.
That's your wife? Okay.
Yeah,
So
and she runs the page. She runs the page. She's a vigilant mother. She's obviously like the best damn thing that ever happened to me or my daughter. She's a trooper.
Okay.
And so shout out to her. Big shout out to Candy.
I'm gonna when the stream's over, I'm gonna contact you directly, and I'm gonna do something for you guys, man. You know, it may not be much, but I definitely wanna help you guys out. For anybody else that's on the stream, go to Facebook, put in hashtag We Love Lucy, and anything that you guys can do to help would definitely be.
Yeah. Honestly, my kid kicks rocks, dude. I mean, like we talk about like all these pro athletes and stuff, but I haven't seen anybody do things my daughter's done. She's she just turned 3 in August, and I've watched her go on a life support machine. I've watched her be on a ventilator like multiple times. I mean, it's rough, and I'm just trying to relate to basic society. You know, it's hard coming from a medical family, but
sure.
But still trying to relate. Still trying to. Yeah, she's a baby. Yeah, she's a baby, man. Probably spent two years out of her 3 years we spent living in a hospital.
Wow.
But yeah, it is what it is, dude. It's
Well, listen, I'm definitely gonna keep you guys in my prayers, and I hope anyone that's listening, who's went on Facebook and search hashtag We Love Lucy can see the story and can get back and anything that I can do, I'm definitely here to help out.
So you just let her she's a warrior.
Yeah, she definitely looks like a warrior, man. 100%. Definitely
a warrior. I even the doctors, even the doctors are like, I don't know if she's gonna make it this time, but that's been like 20 different times they've told us that. She's still fighting. Like she's literally the Derrick Henry of kids, dude. She's just a monster.
That's good.
And
man.
so I don't put all my eggs in that basket when they tell me, like, oh, this is the worst I've ever seen. I'm like, wait, give her a minute, dude.
Yeah. I mean, she looks strong. She's a fighter, and I can see her. I can see her. She's got a strong spirit, man. 100%.
Yeah, I don't want to bring the moment down or anything. I super appreciate you reaching out, and Jonas too, Thailand, Shasi, all the Wrench gang. You guys have been super supportive.
Definitely. Definitely, bro.
And I'm sorry on my part for missing some streams here and there. But,
no. Listen, hear me out. You got a family. You're going through some things.
Yeah.
I totally understand, man. And what's funny is I've ran these streams now I literally just started this like 3 months ago. Like I just really say, you know what, I'm gonna run full steam ahead with it. And then like we built a team. We built like a family.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where we'll be in the comments section, and like we're kicking out like trolls, and we're going through like spam and bots and all that kind of stuff, and before we even heard each other's voices, we had built this platform, so it's just cool to get to this point. Unfortunately you're going through some stuff in your life, but it's cool to actually get to this point and see what this has actually been all about. Like this is this is the moment of why this whole thing happened, for me at least. Like it's heartwarming because I didn't know. Jonas didn't know. Nobody on this channel knew what was really going on with you. And now we know and we see it. And so it's so much easier to say, okay, this is something that, we can actually help out with. We can talk about, we're here for you. Off the stream, you can definitely contact me, shoot me an email, whatever. I'll give you my phone number. Like I said, whatever I'm gonna do, I'll help you out. But at the same time, I want to help you try to get away from the negative side. And
I've always been about the channel. I've always been about you guys and the Wrench gang.
Definitely.
And you've been a healthy distraction.
Good. Good.
And
If you could redo the I Love Lucy. What is it again?
It's you're on
hashtag
Facebook.
we love Lucy.
Yeah. Hashtag we love Lucy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's that on Facebook?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my wife.
Yeah.
My time right now, I can look on mine because obviously I'm on my phone and my computer is down, so I'm gonna have my wife look at that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
I
was gonna say we're just gonna try to stay on topic a little bit, but that's definitely something that you guys can look into. Hashtag we love Lucy. Show the support. Trev's daughter is a fighter. Give me 1 second, Jonas. Hold down the stream for me for a second, okay? Jonas, Trev, hold it down for a second for me.
Okay.
I got you, man.
All right.
So how do you feel about how about Aaron Rodgers getting fined more than CeeDee Lamb for a uniform malfunction, Jonas?
I think it's a little outrageous because CeeDee Lamb was wearing his outfit like that last season and never got fined about it at all.
Yeah, and Zeke never wears a conventional uniform, and sometimes he'll even switch the jersey of another guy. And he'll come out like joking around and shit, and he's never been fined for it. So, man, I don't know. I really don't know at this point what the NFL's even doing, man. This is a weird paradigm shift. This is a weird paradigm shift for the league, for the Shield in general. We've never seen it like this, like Juju dancing on logos and stuff. Like, we're in a new age of the NFL, and if the NFL doesn't adapt to the new age, they're going to lose a lot of people. And I would hate to see the league go down like the MLB has lost fans, NBA has lost fans.
That's true.
And I see the NFL in a way that, like, these are some of the most athletic beings I've ever seen in my life. Like, these are every single player that makes it to the NFL is like an Olympian. Like I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a lot of athletes going out there into small car crashes every single play.
So,
that's true.
Yeah, I was actually just going to chime in on that. I think the players of today, these guys are definitely built different, right? Even though the way that the style of play has changed, and they're not hitting how they used to, but like physically, these guys are in way different shape from what they were back in the day.
Did you see that fucking training facility at, where is it, Ohio State or something like that? It's got anti-gravity treadmills or something. Where was it? What school was that? Where you can like run on air? That's insane. They didn't have that back in the day. Lawrence Taylor used to do 8 balls of Coke and drink a bottle of whiskey before every game.
There's a lot of that going back in the day.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts, and they're monsters.
Yeah.
It's like what Tom Brady stated, back then when he threw his 600 touchdown pass to Mike Evans. And he stated, had we been playing like we did like 10 years ago, he would have never threw that pass to Mike Evans knowing that he would endanger Mike Evans' life. Because, that safety was just smoking.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
back in the day, safeties would take your head off. Troy Polamalu wouldn't last in today's NFL. He wouldn't have lasted.
Nope.
Safeties like
Either
him, Junior Seau, like them dudes, they were cut from a different cloth. Like they couldn't have played in today's NFL.
I think Polamalu gets like a benefit of the doubt, because I think that dude was just on some different shit, dude. I've never seen anybody have the football IQ like Troy Polamalu, dude.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu
Was it?
pretty good athlete. He was a great safety.
I don't even.
Woodson, Ed Reed was good.
Just like his calls, his transitions, the way he would change the play. His audibles were the fucking audible to make of the game. You know, like he made games based on his audible in call before the snap. It was so serene, and it was like, how did he know? You know, it's like Ed Reed. You know what's coming out of Ed Reed. He's just going to shove his boot down your mouth. But Polamalu was like everywhere you didn't want Polamalu to be, that's exactly where he would be. And it's like, how did he know?
And
you don't see that.
I was gonna say, what's funny is I can't even tell you how many times you've seen this guy jump over the line and just time the snap perfectly, or like be right where the ball is gonna be, like for an interception, like every time. Like it's crazy. It's if you go look at some of the past.
JJ Watt had that too.
Who was that?
JJ Watt had that too early in his career. JJ Watt had that too. I mean, like the dude scored a touchdown in every single position you could do.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's done a fullback position. He did. He's been a tight end. He caught a snap for a touchback. Like the dude's everywhere you could ever be, and that's why I'll never discredit JJ Watt. I don't care who talks shit about JJ Watt. That guy was fucking amazing. He blew the doors off of people, and like you don't see that. You don't see that every year. That's player to player. You know, that's a generational thing.
No, I was gonna say. I think you have specific players who transcend the game at a specific time, right? JJ Watt's one of them. Troy Polamalu is one of them.
Right.
Jim Brown.
Right.
Definitely. Dan Marino, like all these kind of people, they transcended the game. Steve Young, Joe Montana. Like they've transcended the game specifically at that time.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
When you have to create a rule to shut a guy down because that one dude can upend 32 teams. This one guy on one team can shut down all 32 teams. It's like that just it breaks the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So my mom had asked a question. He said, when do y'all think Tom Brady will retire? And this is a funny question because like I feel like Tom is gonna retire when he loses. Like he loses, like
when he starts losing.
Yeah, like when he loses and he doesn't go to the playoffs, I think that's when he's actually going to retire.
I think his wife will have
when his contract goes up.
You think so?
See, I just don't.
Yeah, I'm a big Michigan Wolverines fan, so I've rooted for Tom, the comeback kid, watching him beat Alabama. I've rooted for Tom since he made it to the NFL. I was upset the Cowboys didn't take him, and we passed him 6 times before New England finally took him in the 6th round. I was so upset.
I think
we passed him 6 times, knowing we needed a decent quarterback because Quincy Carter was not doing it for us.
No, he definitely wasn't.
I think eventually his wife will shut it down. I think she'll be like, hey, dude, you got kids. Like Bruce Arians came out in that press conference this summer and said, like, dude, my kid just turned 40. Like, where did the years go? You know, so yeah. I think Tom will play until he knows, like deep down inside of him, he'll know physically that he can't, like the risk isn't worth the reward.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, like he's like top 5 MVP candidate. So like, why would he stop next year? You know, like why not play next year? Why not play the year after that until he gets that indicative sign from his own body and from his family and his wife to be like, hey, dude, we got enough money. You don't need to put yourself through this. Let's raise our kids. I think Tom will play until Tom is, unless Chase Young has something to say about it. Unless Chase Young shows up and puts his dick in the dirt. I don't see Tom. I don't see Tom slowing down anytime soon, man.
No, I feel like this, right? I feel like he's for his age, right? He's in just phenomenal shape, and which that's just crazy that he's able to still play at the level that he is at his age, physically deal with the pain and the hits and things like that, and just basically stay in motion. With that said, I think there's two real reasons that would make him retire, right? He gets injured, right? He gets hurt in a bad way. Yep. That's one. Two, like I said, he doesn't make it to the playoffs. I think that's something that's going to resonate in his head at that moment. And then Giselle might be like, hey, it's time. And then it'll kind of just click, right? I think that's kind of what the situation would be. Because as long as he makes it to the playoffs and then it'd be NFC Championship now? Yeah, NFC Championship. And then to a Super Bowl, he's going to keep playing. Like, as long as that happens, he's going to keep playing. But if something changes... Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Until he feels like he becomes a liability to the team. Yeah. When he's the one holding the Bucs back, that's when he'll give up.
Exactly.
Well, my biggest thing is that I think Tom will transition over to be maybe an offensive coordinator. I don't think he's going to ever leave the NFL.
No, I'd agree with that.
I think Tom is going to keep his foot there and probably make some moves, might even make a head coach.
Yeah.
That's what makes Tom really different from other quarterbacks is because when he was with Belichick, if everyone knows that Bill Belichick was never a head coach. He was a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So he taught Tom how to read defenses, how to know if they're going to sit in zone, how they know they're going to sit in man coverage, how it's all set up. So Tom's got that. Tom's got all those qualities because his head coach was a defensive coordinator that taught him, hey, this is the part of the field they're going to leave open when they sit in different packages, Mm-hmm. So I think Tom will transition over to be probably assistant coach or offensive coordinator. Hey, he could be even a quarterback coach. I just don't think Tom's leaving time.
Why not defensive coordinator?
Tom played injured last year because he had to have his kneecap cleaned up before the beginning of the season.
I think a big thing too about Tom is he's not just a quarterback. This dude knows how to read the game itself, and most people don't realize that. Like, yeah, I mean, quarterback, you got to throw the ball, you got to know your playbook, and you got to figure it all out there. But Tom has transcended the game because he's actually focused on what the defense is doing and how they're playing and learning, their positions to the T, learning their, what they're doing, their routes, how fast these players are. He's looking at it as if he's actually in their locker room, looking at their playbook. Yeah. So Tom's a different level of player, and people.
I would say
I was going to say
him and Peyton would make a amazing defensive coordinator.
Oh yeah,
because of their read on the plays and their time management, dude. He would make an amazing defensive coordinator.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's huge because at the end of the day, when you look at how they both played, right? Peyton was an excellent passer, right? But because that man could stay in the pocket forever, he was going to figure it out. You would rarely see this man, rushed. And that's because he had an excellent offensive line too. Like we got to give credit to the O-line, right? Those guys are there for a reason.
You have to. Hey, shout out to the O-lines in the league, man. Not enough credit. Not enough fucking credit.
Not enough credit at all, right? But just like Peyton and Tom Brady, when you have that O-line, and you're a talented and amazing quarterback, and you know what the defense is going to do, you're reading that defense the way that they are, you're bound to be great. Now the question is, how good are your receivers? Are your receivers going to drop the ball? Or do you have quality receivers? Or are you a quarterback that can make them better? And that's something that Peyton did, something that Brady did, something that a few other quarterbacks did. They made their receivers better. Drew Brees is another example of that too. No matter who he had, from Colston to Thomas, he's made his receivers better. He's made his tools better. And I think that's something that a lot of the quarterbacks, lose out on. Some people are probably going to hate me for this, but you look at someone like Patrick Mahomes, right? He had all his talent. He came with a lot of talent. He didn't build that, right? He added to it.
Yeah.
So when you look at someone like that, they play great and they have a good team and they're put together well. Once those schemes are figured out and all you have is talent and not heart, you get sunned in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. True. Harrison Butker for Super Bowl MVP, dude. That's what it should have been on Madden 22. It shouldn't have been Pat Mahomes, dude. Harrison Butker made the most points in that whole fucking. Dude, it blows me away to think you got an offensive coordinator like Eric Bieniemy, but you have zero read on the defense, so you're always improvising. And that's Pat Mahomes' biggest asset is improvising.
Well,
what happens when the pocket? What happens when the pocket breaks down? What happens? Pat Mahomes shine.
Exactly.
But nobody's ready for it, and that's why his receivers drop the ball. That's why the defense can read him because they expect him to go off the book. They expect him to do that. Like Lamar can get away with it because he doesn't throw the ball once the pocket breaks down. He holds it and he runs and he breaks tackles and he jukes and he does all that crazy shit. But Pat doesn't do that. Pat breaks the pocket and then just does some weird pass that should not be humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so inhumanly possible that even his receivers don't know it's coming, so it doesn't work out.
Yeah. And so think about it like this. When teams like the Bills, right, figure out your offensive scheme, when teams like Tampa Bay figure out your offensive scheme, at that point, your side passes don't matter, right? At that point,
it doesn't matter if you can throw across your body on your left foot.
It's going to get picked off.
Into a pocket that doesn't exist.
It's going to get picked off, and now you're getting sacks, and things are happening that wasn't happening last year because they figured out.
And
your
the
schemes.
level of cornerbacks is going up because of people like Pat, right?
Yep.
So the level of cornerbacks don't get any credit. The big names do because of how many picks they get and shit, but the cornerback is probably cornerback and free safety. Those are the most athletic dudes on the field because not only are they just as fast as your wide receiver one, but they're reading the play while the wide receiver already knows the play. So the cornerback and free safeties are guessing, right? They're going strictly off of the instinct. So you got dudes out there like Trevon Diggs and Jalen Ramsey that are just making a name for themselves from being Dion,
Mm-hmm.
And it's dude, you're just going to get killed. If you get killed, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that you're going to get beat out by a strong defense.
Yeah.
You can't get all squirrely.
So
the talent's only getting bigger.
Yeah, and another thing too is you guys notice how I want to say the injuries have kind of calmed down.
Kinda.
I don't know about that.
You don't agree, Jonas?
Yeah. Well, you would watch it against Baltimore and Miami.
So think about it like this. Last year, the injuries were crazy. It was almost every down there was an injury. It's kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
AWOL, what's up? What's good, bro?
Yeah.
Good to see you. But yeah, it's kind of slowed down as far as from what I'm seeing. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think
there's a lot of dirty hits still.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? The dirty hits and those kind of like helmet to helmet. That's the kind of stuff that'll lead to injuries and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I think that the injuries from like COVID, because they weren't able to practice and all that kind of stuff has kind of slowed down.
True.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's a lot of like spontaneous injuries. You got like quarterbacks hitting their fingers off a helmet. Nobody can account for that. You got like Derrick Henry losing the entire season. He's Mr. October, and his best month of the season was September. That's never happened in his career. Now you got Kamara out. Kamara is one of the most athletic people in the entire league. He's known for not being injury prone. He's out now. I mean, but you always have your injury prone dudes like the McCaffreys, the Barkleys. They're going to be injured every single season. It doesn't matter. You got your George Kittle. Yeah, like, dude, these guys are just going to get injured every single season. It doesn't matter because they play so reckless, because they love the sport so much. They put their body on a sideline. And every coach will say, this is so cliche, but every coach will say the best ability you have as a player is availability. And these guys don't give a shit. They're like, I'm Christian McCaffrey, dude. I will fucking do the most reckless thing to my body and then miss 6 games. And it's like, but dude, you can't carry a team like that, especially when your team relies on you so much like Carolina does. You can't play like that. You cannot do that.
How do you feel? I was going to say, how do you guys feel about Cam going back, and what do you think about that combo with him and McCaffrey?
I think it's going to be excellent.
It'll be good, but like Joe Brady's a different coach, though. So, like, Cam's going to have to go through the whole process of trying to be Cam, trying to be Superman while learning a new offense. So it'll just be like New England. Like, he's going to learn a new offense. It just happens to be his hometown this time instead of being Bill Belichick.
And that's kind of like what I won't say like feared, right? But I think that's kind of like why I questioned. It was like, okay, he's going to go back home. They're running a different offense now. Like, Ron Rivera's not there anymore. So it's
right.
A whole different scheme now. It's a whole different game. And they kind of centered their offense around McCaffrey, right? Because that's all they really had. So now it's like, okay,
right.
you got you got a decent quarterback back. At this point, how do you structure your game around Cam? Because Cam, I mean, he's still mobile for the most part. I don't see him running as much as he used to, but he's definitely still mobile. So he's going to try to, make his own plays on his own. But you still have McCaffrey in the back waiting for the ball, trying to run. That's
and DJ Moore as a wide out, so it gives him a good weapon.
Anderson. Exactly. Yeah, Robbie Anderson's out there too.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson. He came from New York to there. And it really just depends on the play caller, man. Like, will Joe Brady be able to relinquish his own ego to change to fit Cam's play scheme?
So they play the Cardinals tomorrow, and I mean, to be honest, I just see that being a complete blowout.
I don't know if it'll be a complete. See, Cam's not starting tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
so we got P.J. Walker, right? We got P.J. Walker, and P.J. Walker's no slouch. He came from the CFL, and those boys out of the Canadian League don't get nearly enough credit. True. I mean, their rules are different and their fields are different, but I mean, these guys ball out and they throw their bodies to the line. So I think PJ will do good. I think PJ will do great. A lot. I mean, let's call it what it is. Sam Darnold fucking sucks, but and I'm sorry to say that, Sammy. I mean, like, you deserve better, Dave. You deserve so much better, but you haven't proved it.
No, so, that's the reality behind it, bro. Like, Sam Darnold he's terrible. I don't get it. I really don't. But that's whoever made the decisions to keep playing him is in question as well.
Yeah, I think it's time for his tour in the XFL or the Players League, like Johnny Manziel. Like, you can always go down there and play.
Exactly.
Like, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Look at Tyler Haneke, dude. He was sleeping on the couch last year. or the year before last. You know, like there's always a spot to play football. It might not just be in the NFL.
So we got.
And
I was gonna say we got Saints, Titans, Bills, Jets, Lions, Steelers, Jaguars, Colts, Buccaneers, Washington, Browns, Patriots, Falcons, Cowboys. I know y'all excited for that one. Panthers, Cardinals, Vikings, Chargers, Seahawks, Packers. That's going to be a big game. We can't deny that's going to be a huge game.
3 of these games, I'm really interested.
I don't know if it's going to be that. I think the Seahawks Green Bay game is all narrative.
So, finishing up, we got Eagles.
I
was going to say Eagles, Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and then Rams and 49ers. So, the 3 that I'm going to stream tomorrow, obviously, I'm doing the Bills. But then Seahawks, Packers, and then Chiefs and Raiders. So, but the prime games for me are going to be the Falcons, Cowboys, your Seahawks, Packers, Chiefs, Raiders, and I think this Browns Patriots game is going to be a nice one. This Browns Patriots game is probably going to be huge. It's going to be a dogfight.
It's going to be nice for both franchises.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb isn't even going to be in this game, is he?
No, Ernest Johnson, bro, for 4 touchdowns. That's a huge exaggeration, but that Kevin Stefanski's the play caller on that, and he's out of Minnesota. He's the reason why Dalvin Cook even has a job.
What's up, my opinion?
No matter who. What's that?
No, go ahead. I'll just say what's up, this guy.
I was going to say, Kevin Stefanski is a hell of a run caller, and Minnesota's offense is completely built around Kevin Stefanski's theory. And so, no matter where that guy goes, you can plug a running back into his plays, and they'll just score. Ernest Johnson started last 2 weeks ago, I think, and he just killed it, and nobody even knew who he was. So that's just proof. Alexander Madison does it for Minnesota whenever Dalvin Cook's out. So Kevin Stefanski is underrated as a play caller. Baker Mayfield's losing his job. It looks like he is losing his job just because they don't need that good. They don't need to pay a top dollar quarterback because their entire playbook is built around the run.
Yeah.
You don't need it,
So my opinion.
The 3 games that I'm big on for is rival division games. I love rival division games because they play each other twice within the season. They kind of know each other. So Buffalo at New York, that's going to be a good game. The Kansas City at Las Vegas, that's even going to be a better game.
Yeah.
And I think the Rams at the 49ers will be even a better game. So I like the lineup they have for this week.
Yeah. This week's going to be it's going to be crazy, to be honest. Unfortunately, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't stream every game. I can only stream 3. I wish I could do all of them, but Bills, Jets, Seahawks, Packers, Chiefs, Raiders. Yeah. What's funny is,
come on, Jreasn, why can't you stream every single game? What is going on, dude?
All right, so check this out. Listen, check me out. All right, we gotta have this conversation. So, YouTube demonetized me, and it's kind of crazy because there's people out here who rely on YouTube as actual income, for their life. This is their job. This was essentially this is a hobby for me. I've got a real job. I'm okay, right? But there's some people out here who actually use YouTube to make money, to pay their bills, and that's just what it is. I got demonetized because I wasn't showing my face on these streams. They didn't delete my channel. They didn't take down my videos. They didn't say, hey, you can't do this. They basically sent the email, and then I went and read the reason why, and it said because you're not changing the content in a way that it makes it yours, in a sense. So what I took from that is, hey, you didn't show your face, idiot. So we're going to take away your monetization for the next 30 days. Now, keep in mind, there's other channels doing the same thing. So I got my, wrist slapped. And like one of the busiest times in the year for anyone to be monetized on YouTube. Now, keep in mind, with me, it's not about the money. Because obviously if it was, I would have been pissed off and I was like, forget it. I'm not going to do it. I'm still here. But yeah, I was streaming like 4 or 5 games at the same time. I even did 6 one Sunday. And that's because I didn't have to show my face. But now that's going to change. So now I can do 3, because I can show my face during 3. But if I was to run, like the Falcons Cowboys and the Panthers Cardinals while I'm running these other ones, they're probably going to be like, nah, it's a wrap. I actually had to go back through and delete. I was going to say, I had to go back through. I deleted 145 videos, 145 streams.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Policing.
Hey, do you know why I picked Miami to beat the Ravens last Thursday?
What's that?
Did you know that, poor old Detroit, right? Had they not got rid of Galloway, they might had a chance of winning some games, but they choose to let Galloway go.
Oh, wait, hold on. Speaking up, I got some crazy news.
The Lions almost beat Baltimore, 19-17. Baltimore won by 2 points.
I just got this in. Check this out.
World record field goal.
Ben Roethlisberger is going to miss the game Sunday.
Oh, I told you Ben would.
I saw that today.
Ben's missed so many games. Hell, Eli Manning made Ben look like he was not that great, even though they both have 2 Super Bowls. But Eli had the best starting record until their new head coach, and he got fired that next season. Decided to sit Eli Manning out and broke his streak for the New York Giants.
So here's a question. Do you guys think the Lions are going to get their first win against the Steelers?
I fucking hope so, dude. I fucking hope so much. I'm all about it. I'm so about this Dan Campbell mode. Like, man, I want to see the Lions win at least one, dude. At least one. I don't want to see this man come in biting kneecaps off, talking about fucking upending the entire franchise, doing all this, doing all that.
They're giving Pittsburgh 8 points, and the money line is plus 300. I would be so tempted to literally just go put $1,000 on Detroit. I feel like this is going to be the one game they do it. I feel like the NFL is going to let them win this one.
I wish they would, dude. I wish they would. They've come so close in so many games. Like Jonas was just saying, like they almost beat Baltimore had Justin Tucker not been on the team. That could have been anybody on the team, and Baltimore would have lost that game. You know, like nobody has an automatic kicker like Justin Tucker. You know, like nobody's got that guy who's going to go out there in Detroit in a no-dome with 20-mile-per-hour winds and kick a 66-yard field goal. Nobody's got that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Mason Rudolph has been in the league for quite a while.
That's true.
Well, you know.
That is true.
He's an Oklahoma State boy. He's been with Pittsburgh for quite a few long times that Ben's been out.
3 years? 4 years? 4 years.
Yeah.
Wait, when did Myles Garrett try to kill him? Was that 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's 3
2
years
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When he tried to break his neck with having his hand on his face mask, and he kicked Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's not a human. You can't fuck with that dude. You'll get hit in the face with a helmet. That's what happened.
Yeah, Myles is
dude
not
gets
human.
drug
That
tested.
dude's a robot. That dude is definitely a robot.
Dude gets drug tested for wearing a sleeveless T-shirt, bro. You can't fuck with that guy. Don't just keep your mouth shut, man. I'm sure that's what Tomlin said. Like, dude, why did you even talk shit? Why did you even talk shit to Myles Garrett, bro? Know your place.
Listen, I think like nobody cared when he had the shirt on, but he took that shirt off and they were like, "Yo, we got to drug test this guy immediately." Like right now.
Twice it happened to him this season.
So
he was like, "Bro, I'm done. I'm done wearing sleeveless. It's over. I'm done doing it."
My opinion says, you want to make money on Sunday, you better take the Raiders.
Yeah, I'd take the Raiders.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The Chiefs are so dead, and they never cover. They never cover.
You know what the problem is, though? They're 3.5 this Sunday.
It went up. It was 2.5.
Oh no! You're right. I'm looking at it again now. I just refreshed it. It's 2.5.
2.5. Take it.
I don't know. I feel like this is a Vegas money grab, man.
I mean, if we obviously look at the AFC North and the AFC West, these two divisions are up for grabs for any of these teams.
Yeah, that is.
They're
true.
only like one game out. Because like Baltimore 6-3, Pittsburgh 5-3, and Cleveland and Cincinnati are both 5-4. Denver and KC are 5-4, and the Vegas Raiders and Chargers are 5-3. Like any of these guys could take.
So
just in these division rival games, can take the So Kansas City could rise up out of this if they do beat the Las Vegas Raiders.
See, like I like doing I was gonna say I like doing the money line instead of just like the point spread.
Right.
Yeah.
But the money line is only plus 115 for the Raiders. It's minus 135 for the Chiefs. So, like I said, this is really it could really go either way, right? It's not really even like a
You're not gonna make a big buck off of either team.
Yeah, and then it's like okay, if the Chiefs just completely like demolish him, you'd be sitting there like pissed off, like really. Now they decide to step up.
Oh, now you show up.
Exactly. You know? My opinion says it's
Which
a sure
is probably
thing.
what all Kansas City fans are saying too. They're like, hey man, we can lose these shitty games, and Pat Mahomes may be dead this year, but at least they beat the Raiders. You know, it's like
Well, they beat the Raiders, so we still can believe in them. You know.
And that's one of the longest rivalries in football, you know? Like, you got, like, Chicago, Green Bay, Kansas City, Raiders. So it's like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Vegas
What's his name?
Right now in their division. And Kansas City's 0-1 in their division. I mean, Kansas City still got
coach?
What was that?
That interim coach. The interim coach for Vegas. What's his name? Shit. The Italian dude. Oh, man, he's so cool. I love this guy. I don't know. There's not very many teams who have a good backup coach when your coach gets fired or released.
His name is Rich Bisaccia. Bisaccia.
Dude, this guy, he's a special teams coordinator, so he knows all about team management anyway. And the whole team loves him. So, I mean, and he's 2-0 right now. Or is he 3-0? I think he's 2-0. He's undefeated as head coach. So,
since he took over?
Yeah, since he took over as interim head coach. I mean, like.
So that's interesting. So my opinion, you might be onto something, bro. I mean, I'm not knocking you for saying that in the comments.
No, he's 2-1 because they lost to New York.
They lost to the Giants?
Yeah, they lost to the Giants.
23-16.
That's why I'm hesitant, right? Because like they lost to the Giants, and it's kind of like I feel like Mahomes is getting to the point where he's getting sick of people talking, and he might come out and just have a breakout game tomorrow. Especially during prime time.
Well, he needs to for my fantasy team. I'll tell you that. I'm tired of watching Tyreek Hill give me 5 points every week.
Listen,
That is-
Tyreek was
that
like
is gross.
everyone's like kryptonite, right? And now this year he's just like
Yeah.
he's not doing
Yeah.
it.
He's still ranked third
by 3 points.
He's still ranked third in fantasy rankings based on 2 games. Dude, it's gross.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Like I was gonna bench him last week, and I should have over Robert Woods. Like I seriously, that was a real debate I had in my head. I was like, should I just play Robert Woods and bench Tyreek Hill? And I'm like, in what alternate timeline am I living? Oh yeah, the timeline where Pat Mahomes is worse than Trevor Lawrence.
Right?
That's the timeline I live in. Like, God damn, dude.
So my opinion says the Chiefs O-line is horrible. Yeah, they've been terrible, bro. Like they haven't been able to protect Mahomes.
Since the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they listen. Someone sat down and literally figured out the Chiefs' whole scheme and like shared it across the NFL. Like someone, I think it was Brady. I think Brady sat down and he game planned before the Super Bowl, and he was like, "This is what the Chiefs do, and this is how we're gonna stop them." And he's like, "Just write all this down. Just watch what we're doing, and that's gonna be it. That's all you got to do."
Yeah.
And now everybody's been following that same path, and you're seeing the remnants of it. You're literally seeing it every week now.
Andy Reid even said like he's seeing things out on the field that he's never seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like other teams are compensating because the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. Other teams are compensating in their defense coverages. And to take a coach like Andy Reid, one of the greatest of all times, and have him say like, "Man, they're doing shit I've never seen." That's crazy. It doesn't even add up.
Well, that's why you had those palpitations, bro.
Well, yeah, dude, I was so pissed when they lost that game, and then Andy Reid got hospitalized. I was like, "You guys did not kill Andy. Are you fucking kidding me?"
Like it's sad to like laugh about it. I feel so bad, but
Yeah,
you know
dude.
that's why. Like, bro, you didn't have palpitations because like of your health. Like you were upset about that game, and it made you sick.
Yeah,
And that's terrible.
Yeah, it made you sick to your fucking stuff. You have to deal with your dumbass son, and then you have to deal with your $100 fucking billion quarterback fucking shitting on the field. It's like, dude, I'd have a heart attack too.
Yeah. Yeah. I said they gave him too much money. I did say that. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I feel like they gave him too much money too soon. It boosted his ego.
They broke the curve.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now every quarterback is asking for Pat Mahomes kind of money. You know, like Dak's asking for it, A-Rod's asking for it.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get paid like Pat.
You know, Josh Allen got $250 million, and I respected that. You know, Josh has he's got to the point in his career now, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bills fan, but he's got to the point now in his career where he could command that. You know, he's changed the franchise. People believe in him. You know, every year now it's like, okay, we have a chance. Before
He doesn't scramble.
What was that?
If he's changing the franchise, he should have ran over to the head coach and say, "Hey, I don't want to go for this 4th and 1. Let's take it into overtime with the Titans."
Listen, Jones, I knew you were gonna come at me about that, bro. I knew it was coming. I knew it. And you know, it's.
I mean, who else can throw a interception to another guy named Josh Allen? I mean, come on, and then fumble the ball to the same Josh Allen.
Yo,
I swear this guy was just putting on jerseys.
The fix is in, bro. the fix is in, bro.
He's like, "Oh, that guy's named Josh Allen. Catch this, buddy."
Yeah, I don't.
But that's what the other game I was going to say too. Jacksonville at Indianapolis is going to be a good game.
But let's talk about the Josh Allen experience, right? So it goes back to when he tried to go get that 1 yard sneak and he went down. Bro, you're 6'4". You go over the pile. You go over the pile.
The field's wet.
Bro, you go over that pile. Now, if you're 5'8" quarterback, yeah, you might can sneak through the hole in the bottom. You're 6'4". Go over that pile, man.
Yeah.
Break the plane.
225.
But if you're playing on that field and you can tell that field is wet, there is no reason to do what he did. I mean, that's the reason why he slipped.
Yeah.
No
He's
one
got
pushed
bigger
him out.
muscles than-
You watched him basically slide out from underneath his feet because that's how wet the grass was. I was so upset,
How
man.
many
I thought
quarterbacks do you see stiff-arming guys, though?
Well,
That's what's insane to me about Josh Allen. He, like, stiff-arms motherfuckers. I've never seen that before.
yeah.
I've never seen a dude break to his left for 3 yards and make a stiff arm. No, dude, just run out. Don't jeopardize the entire franchise just because you can. And this dude is like garbage paling kid.
Yeah, he's jumping over people and stuff. I admit,
they could have
Allen
at
does
least
do
did a sweep or something. I mean, he's got some speed to him.
Allen
It's
does
not
do
like,
too much.
he doesn't know how to run because we've watched him make 15 to 21-yard touchdowns by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Bills, though, Bills versus Jets, the spread is Bills -10. The over is 46 points. The money line is -550 Bills, Jets 425. You know I love hearing those kind of numbers, plus 425, but not against my team because I'm not going to take that bet. But it's just crazy just to imagine something crazy happens. The Jets miraculously wins by 1 point or something stupid like that. And you win plus 425?
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane.
And the Jets are really feeling like a trap. Yeah, Mike White's starting. And Jets be that team. Jets are the upset kings right now.
Yeah. Well, it says
I mean, I would say the Jaguars, but I don't want to piss off Jreasn.
Listen,
that's all we can do. They beat playoff teams, but if they're good or if the teams stink, they'll lose to them. But if these teams are playoff teams, like they beat the Titans.
Hear me out.
Yeah. They didn't just beat the Titans. They knocked the boots off the Titans. Let's be real.
I know, but
they beat the boots off.
You know what's funny
with
is this.
Henry. With Henry.
Here's what's funny though. Obviously, I'm a Bills fan, right? When we have these discussions, it's always open, right? I'm not biased. I love football. I love sports in general. So it's like when we're sitting here chopping it up about any team, I got to take the good with the bad when it comes to the Bills. Just like you guys have to take the good and the bad when it comes to the Cowboys, or when it comes to the Bengals, or when it comes to the Browns. You know, like you got to take it. So
or it comes to the Bears.
when it comes to the Bears, yeah. Which where are they at? No Selena, no Rose, no Grace tonight.
No, man.
But it is Saturday, so they're probably living life right now. We're just chilling.
Yeah, they're out. Bros is probably having a great glass of wine and sitting back and relaxing.
Listen, I'm about to crack this thing open, bro. Like straight up, I'm about to crack. Just make it a night.
I haven't taken a drink of alcohol maybe 3 months before my boy turned a year old.
Really?
Yeah, you don't drink no more.
Oh wow.
I don't want myself in I'm gonna be an a-hole when I've been drinking, so I kind of thought myself that hey, we're not gonna go down that way.
Nah, Trev, you're good.
Well,
congrats, bro. Like if that's been a good change for you, that's good. Me, I just an occasional here and there. I'm not on it every night. I literally just pop the cork, after a long day, like tonight, and then
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But other than that, it's not like an every night thing.
Me, if I crack one, I'm gonna crack one every day, and after I get off work, someone just looks at me sideways, and then I just want to fight, and I'm like, oh man, I want that in my life. Because if I'm sitting in jail, who's gonna raise my children?
Yeah.
Someone else.
So people, we got 19 viewers here. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're enjoying the stream. Also, if you wanted to hop in the conversation, hop in the chat. You can also call. Give a call, and we can all chop it up and have fun. That's what this is for. Everyone that's on right now has an opinion. Everything's open. The door is open. You don't have to feel like you're left out. You can definitely hop in the conversation. So as far as who's what is that? I got feedback. What is that?
Are they calling over somebody?
I guess we good. All right, whatever. But yeah, so Bills, Jets. Obviously, I got the Bills. That's automatic. The next one, Packers in Seattle. You know what? You guys are. I think you guys are right. I'm gonna go with. Aaron Rodgers. I think he's gonna show out. Right. He's gonna go out there and basically show these people why, he is who he is, and basically tell him to kiss his ass. And yeah, I think Rodgers is gonna take it. And then Raiders and Chiefs. I think Chiefs are gonna take it. That's where I'm at.
That's fair.
Well, I think I'm going to go with Seattle because
you love going against me.
Russell Wilson is back, and he's something else, man. He's something else.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good quarterback himself.
I respect
and he's got
it.
DJ Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. For Aaron, he's only got Devontae Adams.
How they won without him. Remember that? They were throwing to some dude we can't even remember. Can you remember that guy who scored a touchdown 2 weeks ago? I can't even recall his name. It was something fucking weird.
Nope.
Aaron throws touchdowns to anybody. It don't matter what your name is or how athletic you are. He'll throw a touchdown to you.
That is true. He'll definitely get you the ball, right? Yeah. If you can catch it, you're going to be in a good position.
Yeah. I think he scored touchdowns with like 7 different receivers now.
Said he might.
I think Seattle's going to play differently since Russell's going to be back. The defense will play stouter. The offense will run smoother. I know they're playing in Green Bay, but now if I knew Russell Wilson wasn't going to be in this game, I'd totally be for Green Bay.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I get it.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers had his problems with the Bengals. You know what I mean? Going against Joe Burrow. And we all know Russell Wilson is no Joe Burrow.
Yeah. That's two different players. 100%. Two different players.
Yeah.
Way different level.
I mean, Russell Wilson was down, like, what is he doing? Like, running fucking mock plays on the sideline. He was doing fake huddles and shit. It was crazy. I've never seen a player do that before while they were injured.
Listen,
he's all about it.
Russell's definitely Hall of Fame potential, right? I mean, we can agree on that.
He has to be. Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah, he's
it'd only be fair.
Yeah, so there's never going to be, or there shouldn't be any Russell Wilson disrespect from anybody. We can say, hey, my team might win, but Russell is a great quarterback, man, 100%.
I mean, to win a Super Bowl with no number one wide receiver, what was it? Doug was a 6th-round draft pick. Tyler Lockett, it was a 2nd-round draft pick. So he's never had no number one draft pick wideout and take him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom.
So
I mean, like
Wagner,
Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
Wagner's a monster.
But they wanted to pass the ball against New England instead of let Marshall Lynch pound it.
Yeah, that reflects back on Pete Carroll. You know what I'm saying? That reflects back on Pete for calling that play, not so much Russell himself.
I think I still have.
I would have been audible.
I was gonna say I still have scars from looking at Richard Sherman's face. Like it's a cringe moment when you think about it. It's a cringe moment, man.
Like that Nancy Kerrigan moment when she got hit in the knee from Tanya Harding's boyfriend. It's just that why face.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's terrible, right? Like for those who actually remember, right? It's when he made that face, it was like, oh my God, like you could just feel the defeat in his soul, not even his stomach, his soul. He was defeated in his soul, and I don't think he recovered from that personally, right? Like personally, he didn't recover from that.
Well, I remember when my wife said, I thought, well, Seattle's going to beat New England. They're going to go back to back. And then when I saw Russell Wilson step back and he's not handing the ball off, and I'm like, what are they doing? second and goal. I mean, give it to the guy that's been running amok throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
Give him at least one chance.
Yeah.
And then maybe third and goal, maybe pass it. But second and goal, and you're going to go for a pass when you got a decent running back there.
Yeah. And see that's the thing. They don't have another Marshawn, right? Like, so now Russell's got in a sense, he the offense is around him, but you give Russell another option like a Marshawn, and then you have an unstoppable Seattle again.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, my opinion down in the chat is right. Like, Carson's back, and Chris Carson's no slouch, dude. I think he's like one of the unsung heroes of running backs in the league. Chris Carson fuck you up if you underestimate him.
100%.
Yeah, that front flip when he got tackled low and did a front flip, landed on his feet, ran for 30 yards. I mean, like, that's athletic shit, dude. That's no slouch.
Hell yeah. It's going to be a good game. Seattle and Packers is definitely going to be a good game, 100%. Without a doubt. The thing about it is I probably personally wouldn't even bet on that game because
I'd stay away. It's a trap.
Yeah, it's a trap. Betting on that game is definitely a trap. You know, there's
Same
two.
with like Kansas City, Vegas. It just stinks, dude. It just smells like shit.
Yeah, it just smells terrible. Like just even thought of betting on either one of those games just it's not a good feeling. Now, obviously, if I'm gonna bet, I bet on the Bills. I bet on the Bills game. That's an automatic. But at the same time, it doesn't even make sense. It's minus 550. What am I gonna do? Do a prop bet? Josh Allen's gonna throw for 300 yards. Is that how I'm gonna make my money? You know, like
you're gonna do like a same game parlay when you like stack bets on top of
that's the only way to make money this week, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm gonna take the Packers. I'm gonna take the Chiefs, and then then you have to deal with the spread. And if one of them don't hit the spread, then you lose in the parlay. So then it's stupid.
Yeah. So the Bills, they get back. What is it, John Knox? Don't they? This week.
Dawson.
Yeah,
Dawson.
Yeah, they get Dawson Knox back.
Yeah, so that's gonna really open it up. I mean, look what Dawson Knox was doing against. When I told you the Chiefs would lose by 17 against the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny is I made like $3,000 on that game, like $3,000. It was a wild bet. It really was because I don't think anybody.
By 10 points.
Yeah, I had him by 10.
They didn't beat him by 10 points.
Yeah. I had him by 10. No, I had him by 9.5. That was the farthest that it would let me go with the bet. I had him at 9.5, and it was plus like 375 or something. And I would have taken it more, which is so crazy because I would have won. Like I wanted to go like 14. I tried to give him 2 touchdowns, but it wouldn't let me go any further. I think they knew, right? I think the casinos in Vegas just knew, so that's why they maxed me out at 9.5.
So we're going to think that this Tampa Bay at Washington game is going to be the revenge for Washington for last year's at the postseason.
Ooh.
No.
Actually,
no, I think Tampa's just going to hand them a sound defeat and say Tyler Heineke who. That's right.
I mean, but we're talking about 4 defensive players that play pretty good. Chase Young and Payne. I wish they would still had Ryan Kerrigan still there for Washington.
Yeah, he's their leading sacker, Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
He's like their all-pro.
But in the sense, I think there's a unanimous agreement that Tampa Bay is going to just walk them.
Just walk.
Yeah, it's a walk.
Coming off a bye.
Sorry if I've got any Washington football team fans on the stream, but that's it. That is what it is.
You got to also think about Tampa Bay don't have none of their original cornerbacks.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
McCarron is a good wideout, a good number 1. I know when he plays against my Cowboys, I always ask for a double team on that guy. He's something else.
Yeah, he's nuts.
My opinion says you never bet against TB12. And
I don't ever bet against him either, but, I mean, he's already lost 2 games.
Which is very true. They're 7-1, 7-2.
Yeah, but he lost them to like Super Bowl contenders though. Like
No, this is different. We were talking about
Washington's not going to be the same.
Tom Brady's
They're 6-2. Washington football team is also 2-6.
Yeah, and they're not going to get to the playoffs. They have to go past Dak, and that's not going to happen.
This is what I feel like too, though, right? I feel like we're getting to the point of the season where NFL teams are playing like NFL teams, right? Everyone's settled in. So it's not as easy as calling it as a week 1 or a week 3, or a week 5 for the matter. We're getting to the point now where, the offensive schemes are pretty much learned. The defenses are settled in. You're going to have your squads like, okay, we know Tampa Bay is going to do well. They're going to score. But can you get a couple stops and score yourself? That's what comes into play.
Well, Chris Godwin played good because he's on a foot thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's out, Gronk's out.
Yeah,
Gronk's been out for a while now, right?
Is a totally different animal when it comes to postseason than regular season. When he's in the playoffs, his mindset's somewhere else. Like determination, watching video constantly, seeing what they're going to do, how they line up.
Mm-hmm.
Regular season, I mean, that's the reason why the Saints beat them twice last year. Beat them twice. And then when it came to postseason, everybody thought, oh, Saints won already 2 in a row against Tom Brady. Tom Brady this, and Tom was doing this, and Tom gave it to him. Because he's a different guy. When he's in the postseason, he's a different guy than what you saw in the regular season.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, and that's why we said like, yeah. So that's why I said like Tom uses his tools at a different, like, okay, if we're speaking in terms of like a master craftsman, right? So you got guys in woodshop, a professional who's been doing it for so long, an expert, right? He can take shitty tools and still create something great with them. And Tom's at that level. But if you give him people who are talented, he's going to take it to the next level. And that's what has made him such a great quarterback, right? That's what has set him apart from anyone else. People always say like, oh, Tom, is a cheater or whatever. People always say Tom, he's always had a good team. You got to remember, like when Tom started, he had to build off what Drew Bledsoe made. People forget that.
Yeah,
big fact.
Like he basically had to utilize the tools that Drew Bledsoe was accustomed to. It was Drew Bledsoe's team.
Let's get the Brady cheating thing kind of out the way. It wasn't Brady that hired these people to take film of the other team.
Mm-hmm.
It was Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
And his group. It was never Tom Brady.
Yeah. But what's funny too is,
I mean, like, those 2-minute drives are lethal though. Like Tom Brady's proven it over and over again. Like, those 2-minute drills, he will murder you. He'll either throw check down till he can kneel down, or he'll just beat you flat outright in 2 minutes. Like, it's insane. Like the guy,
the Cowboys week 1, we gave him a minute.
Like he can beat you in 40 seconds.
Yeah. 100%.
Him and Aaron Rodgers, I think, are the best. Like, if you can't leave a minute on the clock, and that goes back to the coaching staff for the other teams. It's like you can't leave these guys that much time. These are not your Jimmy Garoppolos of the league. You can't do that.
So
you can't even leave 50 seconds on the clock for these two.
Yeah, don't waste timeouts. Let's be fucking smart here. You're going up against the greatest of all time.
So my opinion says, how many touchdowns does he have this season already? And I'm just pulling up the
like
list.
huge. It's like 35 or some shit. Like, what is it? I'm just guessing. I'm throwing you in the dark.
1 second. I'm just pulling up the stats now. As of week, what is it?
25.
Yeah, he's got 25. Yeah, 25.
Oh, that's in week 8, though, is what my opinion is saying. He was 25-5 at week 8.
Wait, hold on. No, that's what it's at, 25-5.
Yeah.
So he's got 108.6 passer rating right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's top 5 MVP candidate right now. I'd say top 3. Who else?
And listen, like, dude,
He's 45 years old. Like, who can beat Tom Brady right now? It's so insane to still say that after 20 years.
It's crazy, right? Like, it's really insane to even be able to say that, okay, this 45-year-old guy right now has 108.6 passer rating, and he's at the point to where he's probably going to go to the Super Bowl again. Like, it's crazy.
606 touchdowns for his career.
Yeah. And we still have 7 more weeks left. So that's plenty of time for that defense to get re-healed up. You know, like, they're still missing Sean Murphy-Bunting. They're going to get Richard Sherman back.
Yep.
Devon White. Like, dude, that defense is so legit. Like, just on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 games. We have 8 games of accountability.
Philip's in the chat. What's up, Philip? What's good, bro? My opinion says Kamara is out. Yeah, bro. We dropped that out.
Kamara's out. Mark Ingram's carry.
Yeah, he's out. Shit, yo, we covered a lot within an hour and 46 minutes. Like, we started with Jon Gruden, Aaron Rodgers, Steph Curry.
We didn't even really touch on that. Did we? Did we touch on all the email bullshit?
So that was me and Jonas in the very beginning. You had came like right after, pretty much. And, but yeah, I mean, just recapping on what we talked about. You know, Jon Gruden in the email situation, it's circled back. He's looking to sue the NFL now because supposedly, you know, it was a scheme for him to lose his job and, you know, not be paid what he should have been paid from his contract. We also talked about Steph Curry breaking the most three-pointers in history, beating out Ray Allen. Also scoring 40 points. What was that?
I said, and dropping 40 last night.
Yeah, dropped 40 points last night, beat the Bulls, which has a stacked team now. The NBA is looking real interesting right now. You know, everybody's like, oh, the Lakers are going to do this and do that. But the NBA is looking real interesting.
Point score was 23 points.
What was that again?
23 points was their highest one player to score.
Wow.
And then DeRozan was like 18 points, and then the rest of them were like 9 and under.
You know what's ridiculous, though? Curry's consistency right now.
I like how they have Andrew Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
He has brought something to the table.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's still, Klay Thompson? He's still in the back.
Listen, I was just going to say this. All this is happening, and where's Klay? All this is happening, and where's Klay? So I can only imagine that if Klay comes back or is able to come back, the Warriors are back. The Warriors are back in the championship. It's automatic, without a doubt. And that's you know, for some reason I have a feeling that the Lakers are going to get upset. You're not going to see them in the finals. You're going to see the Warriors and somebody else.
I think the Lakers will be pushed out like in the first round. To be quite honest,
they might even show up. I'm telling you, like their chemistry is terrible, and
I don't get why they even picked up Westbrook in the first place.
Yeah, it's
now
too
make
much.
this statement here: had OKC instead of getting rid of James Harden, because when it was James Harden, KD, and Westbrook, they lost that game because Westbrook is a ball hog, and he thinks, oh, give me the ball, I can do something with it. If they would have just got rid of Westbrook and kept James Harden, him and KD would have probably went back to the finals again, and this time probably won a championship. I don't like Westbrook. He's too much of a me. Why do you think he gets all these triple points and stuff like that throughout games? Is because it's all about him. He's not a team player.
He's always been a stat show, right? And I feel like he. Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like he's always been the player that's like, oh, as long as I hit my numbers, I'm gonna look great. I don't care what happens with the team. It's like, bro, pass the ball.
Right.
Pass the ball. Let somebody win the game. If you can't win the game, pass the ball and let somebody else win it. And that's just one of the.
Didn't they pick up Carmelo too?
Yeah. They got Carmelo now. Yep. They got Westbrook. Davis is on not Davis. Howard's on the bench. You have Dwight Howard, who's still super dominant, sitting on the bench. Yeah. It's crazy.
For what reason?
It's like the nostalgic team.
It is. Like, you got Davis out there.
Hey, you want to see all your favorite players play? Go watch the Lakers.
Exactly.
Like, they're all there. There's the Yankees, bro.
I mean, at least Blake Griffin gets to play.
Yes. Which it wasn't interesting.
I'd be like, I think when you go to the Brooklyn Nets, at least I'll get to play.
You know what's wild? This man did nothing with the Clippers. He looked like a grandpa out there. And then he gets in Brooklyn and he starts jumping out the gym again. He starts jumping out the arena. He's dunking on everybody like he used to. It's like he's still old Blake. And everyone's like, yo, like, what happened? Why? It's crazy. Shooting threes, making them. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wasn't it the Clippers owner that had got fired because of his racist statements and stuff like that, and he had to give up his team?
That was years ago. That was
it was a forced buy. Yeah.
But Blake Griffin was there when you guys still owned the team.
Yeah, he had. I think he sold it to his wife, right? He like transferred ownership to his wife or something like that.
Yeah.
Dan Snyder all over again.
Yeah. And see, it's funny because we're talking about the Jon Gruden thing. Like, we forget about stuff like that. Like, like the Clippers owner, he had like a racist conversation with like a stripper or something. It got leaked. He then had to sell the team to his wife, right? And then he just kind of like vanished.
Yeah, he's not allowed to.
I mean, that's what's happening with the Washington football team right now. Like, Dan Snyder's wife is the voice of the. Oh, I'm sure she's not the voice, but she's the head. Like, because Dan Snyder is completely suspended as owner. I'm sure he still has a voice, but like his wife is in charge of the team.
And you know what's sad about it is they're still at the round table.
The Washington football team, they should just change their name and been okay with it. Hey, we'll drop the slogan and we'll just call ourselves the Washington Red Wolves.
Yeah, or something along those lines, right?
They can still keep the red in there, and it'll still be like an Indian thing for, because back then Dan Snyder got basically Native Americans there where they live, a head chief, to sign and say, hey, this name is okay. Well, since he has passed, now Snyder doesn't have that person anymore, and the other, Native Americans are like, because some people don't understand that when you call Native Americans Indians, it's like calling a black person the N-word.
Yeah.
Because it's what the white man called. They didn't want to call us warriors or chiefs. They wanted to call us Indians. Just like, they didn't want to call black people Africans. They just wanted to call them the N-word. And then eventually they moved that over to, Negro. You know what I mean? And now we can't say that no more neither. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, we're in the political correct world, right? So
we don't care. We don't care about the Kansas City Chiefs, but we do care about the Cleveland, and the Washington. What people feel, we named Atlanta the Atlanta Blackskins. You know what I mean? Like that is that's pretty racist.
Wasn't and hear me out, but there was a baseball team out there back in the day called the Wetbacks. People don't remember stuff like that.
Yeah.
People don't remember stuff like that. Like there was a black another black baseball team called the Cracker Jacks. People don't understand, like how things were back in the day, and how much they've changed. So in a sense, okay, you take a tally, you say, is a Redskins name affecting you, or is it bothering you? Does it make you feel some kind of way? And then they'll run these research groups or whatever, and they'll come up with a plan to figure out, who it's bothering, how it's going to affect them in the future, and how it's going to.
They don't want to call it the Red Men. They want to call it Redskins, like skin us.
Yeah. But like I said, it's just like with the whole cancel culture thing, right? We're in a different world right now. You can't say certain things.
Yeah, even Chiefs were talking about changing the name.
Yeah, you can't say certain things. You can't, and I hate to have this kind of conversation, right? But we got to have it.
Yeah. Just keep it sports, but this is kind of leaking in.
Yeah, but no, I mean, we can veer off a little bit because it's a serious topic. So I can't say my opinion towards something because it may bother you, but at the same time, it's your right to say how you feel, even though it could bother someone else.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Someone's got the Bowl LIX somewhere.
Not over here. I'm good. No, it's just. It's just crazy because they can, and I say they. Let me rephrase that. I do apologize. I'm not insensitive. I'll say the alphabet group. It's essentially, they have an opinion and about how they feel, and then you jump on and say how you feel about it, but you're wrong. You can't say how you feel about it because it makes them feel some kind of way, or it makes them upset, or it makes them uncomfortable.
I remember when I told my wife, like I said, I don't care whatever they say. By God, they run up to me and say, "I'm a rock." I'm like, "Okay, you're a rock."
Exactly. and I'm gonna respect you just the same.
I'm gonna respect you.
Go Kansas City Rocks.
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's like this, right? We all come from one race, in a sense. So I'm going to respect you as a person, no matter what decision you've made, in general, But please understand, if we're having an open discussion and we're talking, you got to respect my opinion just like I have to respect yours.
That's very true.
And that's the real downside to the internet generation and stuff is like, you don't agree with my opinion, so you immediately hate me and stuff like that. It's like, that's not how debate works, dude.
No.
But
now, and it's funny because we were bringing this up in regards to the whole, Jon Gruden situation, right? So the cancel culture and things like that. Something that you basically said a year ago, right? Or 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 years ago can affect your job position today. Like, for instance, let's say I was a drunk, right? And miraculously someone brings up, a scenario to my new job that I was this drunk and I was this bad person 20 years ago. Can this job make the decision and say, you know what, we can't have you around here because you were a drunk and people are using this information against you now? I feel like that's the plane that we're crossing when you start saying, hey, these emails are from this specific time. Even though you weren't a coach, you were still kind of bouncing around the league or involved with some football some kind of way. These emails are bad. They're going to give you a negative name and they're going to smear the image of the NFL. So now you either have to go or we're going to fire you based on that. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't agree with the emails, obviously, but I don't agree with that specific entity.
And we never actually seen the emails themselves to for society to judge Jon Gruden on the emails. Obviously, it was fucked up enough for it to be leaked and spread through all the media and stuff, but we never actually saw the email.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
We have no idea. We only know what they told us.
Yeah, we don't know the whole extent. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know the whole extent, and we don't know who.
I mean, like, we don't know.
I was gonna say we don't know.
Look at James
conversation
Gunn
as well, like the whole conversation.
Look at James Gunn. Like, he got fired. He got fired from Disney and then went over and worked for DC and then came back to Disney. Like, that shit just happened. Like, they fired James Gunn for a racial joke he made on Twitter 10 years ago. They fired him from Guardians of the Galaxy. He went and made the new Suicide Squad movie, and then they just rehired him at Disney. So it's like, pick or choose your battle. You know, it's kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about the topic. I know, like, at this point, the Shield is protecting the Shield.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the Shield's just defending itself at this point. They uncovered so much that they don't know how to react, right? Without losing billions of dollars through either the cancel culture or the contracts they signed with TV broadcasting. And so now it's just like the public wants to see 650,000 emails, but the NFL is like, nah, we'll give you a little juicy things to talk about at weeks at a time.
Yeah, we'll give you this, but we're not going to show you anything else, right? We're not going to show you.
Yeah.
We're not going to show you Goodell's emails.
Yeah, we're going to see you week 7.
Yeah, we're actually not even going to show you the email. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're not even going to show us the email.
Yeah, we're just going to tell you what was in there. You know.
Excerpts.
Yeah, we're going to get the excerpt, and then you make your own decision after that. We're going to give you just a little bit, and you can make your own decisions after that. You know,
we'll let cancel culture judge. You know, we'll give you an excerpt, and then we'll let you guys judge. Oh, yep, you say Jon Gruden needs fired. All right, you're fired. And he's like, no, I'm not fired. I resigned in the middle of the fucking season.
And listen,
and it's like, well,
the sad part about it is this, right? It's like, okay, we're gonna leak it out there. We're gonna see how the people feel about it, right? And then
test the water.
Then we're gonna make a decision. We're gonna test the waters.
Yeah.
It's sad. It really is.
Yeah. Kevin Hart lost out on millions of dollars for his little thing he did. You remember that?
Hardball?
Kevin Hart?
Oh, yeah.
The comedian?
Yeah, he couldn't host the Oscars. They took that away and everything. Yeah.
And lost out on millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I was surprised they even kept him in Jumanji.
Listen, remember the whole like Ray Rice situation?
Yeah.
Oh God, dude.
What a way to ruin your career. Like Ray Rice was just, you know, and he was a great.
That was mind blowing, bro.
He was a great back to ruin your career that way.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many times my wife has struck me, and I'm like, man, I want to hit her back so bad, but I'm raised different. You know what I mean? Like. Hitting my wife would be like hitting my mom. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I don't know why he couldn't control it. Yes, he did slap him first, but sometimes, man, you got to just control that. It's not a man that's hitting you. You know what I mean? It's
it's a choice. Like, even if a man did hit him, even if it was a man that hit him, like, you had a choice right there, man. But you let your ego. You let your ego drive your personality.
But my thing is about Ray Rice is that they wouldn't let him back into the league. But Kareem Hunt did the exact same thing and slammed old girl in front of the camera, and he is back.
And this is
really like it.
This is where
really
they
Antonio Brown.
They pick and choose.
Antonio Brown's out there catching touchdown passes as we speak.
And Deshaun Watson is going to be on the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
no, he's not. Do you really think he's going to Miami?
No. I say that jokingly, but what I'm saying is he's still going to be
cool. I believe the child's innocent. I mean, let's talk about Ben Roethlisberger. Look what he did. And he's still throwing passes out there.
Listen,
Yeah.
you know it's funny because when
I told my wife, I was like, man, I'm going to go up there and say, Deshaun, he touched me too, so I can get me some money.
Listen, the funny thing is whenever you're around a Steelers fan and you bring up the situation with Ben, they want to fight.
Yeah.
They want
Yeah.
to
Immediately.
fight. And it's sad because it literally happened. He paid this person off for it to go away.
Yep.
And that's your quarterback. Now,
And that's it.
that's it. It's over. It's swept under the rug. It's done.
And now karma's caught up to him. Now he's Fat Ben. He ain't Big Ben. He's Fat Ben.
So, do I think Deshaun Watson's going to go to Miami? I don't think so. I think he's going to go somewhere. But I don't think it's going to be.
I was so hoping that Miami would reach out for him. I mean, Tua and Deshaun together, man, that'd be just something else out there.
Yeah, but I feel like
Yeah,
they've
that's a lot of
invested so
chicken burn,
much.
dude.
I was going to say they invested so much into Tua that Deshaun's not going to be able to fit in unless he's the star there. That's the only way it would happen.
I think if Miami was having a better season, they would have offered. They would have went with the trade agreement. But Miami ain't having the season they thought they would, and that's basically the GM's fault. What's his name? Chris Petrie or something like that. Some dumb dude who doesn't know how to run draft picks. But it's like
Hurts is doing better than Tua, even though Hurts is losing, but Miami's losing just as well.
Well, Miami could have had Justin Herbert. Like it's not like anybody forced Miami to draft Tua. They knew Tua's medical background. There was, and LA was like, we'll take whoever Miami doesn't.
Right.
So the Chargers could be stuck with Tua right now, but because Miami picked Tua, now the Chargers have Herbert. So it could be a totally different story. However, it's just the way the cards go. I just don't. And then they paid Kyle Van Noy like $30 million and released him 3 weeks later. Like, I just really don't see. And then they released Xavier Howard. Like, it's just like, dude, these guys, and picked up Will Fuller. It's like, you guys are just terrible at this game. Like, you don't understand. You just think, like, we can do whatever we want and try to win games.
But I will say this. I will say that I was pleasantly surprised against Baltimore. I was pleasantly surprised, and I think everyone else was, because the way that game went, you could almost tell Lamar was literally in his emotions. And you really don't see that too much, right? He tries to stay calm and cool under pressure. But that Miami defense, it was something to reckon with.
But what was that comment that they said? Oh, wait till the second half. The Ravens will come back and blow the wheels off of them. And I understand they've done it several other times or whatever, but eventually it's going to catch up to them.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do that in the postseason. Because I understand if you're down by maybe 7, 8 points, you can come back in the second half. But we're talking about 13 to 16 points behind.
Yeah.
It's a different area there, especially when it's postseason. So Baltimore needs to get it together, because obviously if Miami's doing this to them, other teams are going to look at this and be like, oh, they brought that extra blitzer in. Oh, they brought in a fast guy.
Yep.
Like Holland. He was everywhere.
Yeah. Just go look at the tape. You'll know exactly what to do.
Yeah. The corner blitz. Yeah, they shut Lamar down.
Yeah.
It also doesn't help they played in Miami, dude. Like, that's not an easy place to play. No team in Florida has an easy stadium. Like, the weather there is different. The entire vibe is always different in Florida.
Yeah, because Tom Brady's went to Miami several times in New England and lost to Miami when Miami had a horrible record.
Aaron Rodgers has never won in Florida. Not a single game. He has never won in Florida. Like, that is a fact. Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest of all time, has never won a game in Florida. It does not happen. And it's just like a thing. It's a thing with that state. Like, there's so much more going on than just the players on the field. There's other shit going on.
Listen, we came mighty close. I mean, the Bills came mighty close to losing to Miami, right? Like, we had to switch it up. But we didn't switch it up until like the third quarter. It was the second half.
They just lost in Duval County, right? They just lost in Florida. The Bills just lost in Florida.
Yeah, the Jags.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the Jags.
Yeah, it's like it's just a different flavor. You know, it's like going to Lambeau in December. Like, it's a tough fucking battle, and it has a lot more to do than just the players.
Yeah,
it's the stadium itself. It's that home field advantage.
Yeah.
Some people can hear the plays be called out because the fans are too loud.
Well, that's how it is here in Buffalo too. Like, our stadium is super loud. Like, I'll go to some of the games like every year, and it gets nuts, bro. Like, if we're not jumping on tables, we're in that stadium, and you can't hear shit.
Look, your fan base is goddamn nuts, dude. I love them. Bills Mafia.
Bills Mafia is we're wild. We are wild, man. Like, you guys should definitely come here and check out and tailgate, because it's literally insane. Like, I've seen some of the wildest
gender
stuff.
Reveal? Somebody did a gender reveal from jumping off their van onto a table and busted a colored balloon or some shit. I was like, come on, guys.
It gets wild when I tell you, and that's not even half. Like, there's stuff that I can't even talk about right now that's happened on the live, bro. Like, I'm telling you, it's been nuts. It's been nuts. You know,
NFL is wild.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to games down in Florida. I've been to games, Cali. I went to a Texans game before, but like, here, it's just different. It's just different, man. Like, I don't. I think
I'm like 20 minutes away from the Razorback Stadium, right?
Yeah.
So I have seen literally Hog fans throw beer cans, whether they were open or not open, at opposing fans. You know what I mean? Coming dressed up like Auburn. I saw this girl wearing this like Auburn Tiger like outfit and everything. You just see this beer come flying and it hit her right in her butt. That's wild, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's wild. And I see other Hawks fans be like, "Oh man, come on now, you didn't have to do that." They'd be like, "Mind your business."
So check this out. My dad actually, he went down to Tennessee for the Tennessee Bills game, and my dad's wearing a Bills jersey, and he's down there. And you know, like, Tennessee's cool. It's all Southern love and all that kind of stuff down there. But he was telling me, like, they're you know, it was so funny because there was so many Bills fans at that stadium that it got a little rowdy, you know. And if you actually look at the games that the Bills go to, just look at the fans. Look at how many Bills Mafia is in those chairs, and you'll be surprised. Like, I don't like, okay, like, if Kansas City Chiefs come here, I don't really see many Chiefs fans. If Rams, you know, fans come here, I don't really see like too many, you know, Rams fans. Like, when we played the game against when did we go to I think there was a year we went over to London, right? Bills went to London, right? Or was it Mexico?
I think it was Mexico City.
Yeah, it was Mexico. And it was literally Bills fans everywhere. It was nuts. I don't really see that with too many other teams, man. Like, I definitely have to say we probably have one of the best fan bases, and then next would probably be like you know, Steelers, Green Bay, and then the Chiefs.
And Jim Kelly.
You know Jacksonville?
What was that?
What were you saying there?
I said that Jim Kelly paved that way for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah, Yeah, dude, I was
If you
in.
look at the NFL history, there's no quarterback in NFL history, not even Tom Brady with his 10 Super Bowl appearances, to ever go to 4 straight Super Bowls, win or lose. There's no quarterback that's ever done it. Jim Kelly.
I was a kid. I remember I was a kid, and I was watching. I used to have it was like a windbreaker. It was the old school Bills windbreaker. I had it. I remember my dad bought it for me. Literally every Super Bowl, I was sitting in front of a TV, and I remember like we lost, and I cried as a kid, and it was sad. And it was just like, because back then, right, like your quarterback was your hero. It wasn't like how it is today, right? Like you looked up to your quarterback back then. You know, if you were a John Elway fan, like that was your hero. If you was even back like going a little further, if you were a Mark Brunell fan, that was your hero. If you were Boomer Esiason, yeah, like Randall Cunningham, like those were your heroes, you know, and who was Warren Moon, like people like that, man, like when at those times, like you always like looked up to the players, and it's just sad because I look at what Josh Allen's doing now, and it's like, dude, last year you were right there. You were right there. Okay. And then you let this bum, I'm going to call Pat a bum because of how he did in the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
Perform like that in the Super Bowl. He didn't even make it a game.
Harrison Butker for the win, dude. I'm telling you.
I was hoping that Cleveland would knock them out. They injured him.
Right?
Had Henson not made that first down, we probably would have had a different no Chiefs to the Super Bowl.
My opinion said his wife's a Bills fan and he teases her every year. Leave your wife alone. Let her be a part of Bills Mafia in peace.
What was his name? The guy who did the first down, Brad Henney or something like that. Henney.
Yeah. Tell him, don't end up like Greg. Remember poor Greg? He had to have the Bengals to win to keep his wife. Better watch out, buddy.
Yo, we have not seen Greg since that stream.
I know.
He's out of here, man. I think he's really
Greg.
Yeah.
That's in the chat for Greg. Let's have a moment of silence for Greg.
Yeah, we got a moment of silence for Greg. All right. Listen, you know, we think it's like a joke though, right? Like, because he was just like, oh yeah, my wife's gonna freak out and da 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 da, and then we're just like, ha ha, yeah, it's funny. But then like we never heard from this guy again, so something like really probably had to happen because everybody comes back at some point, right? At some game, at some streams, everybody comes back. He never came back after that.
Kind of like Cole. No. Remember Cole? No. He was dropping all that money. He was like, yeah, keep talking. Yeah. And as soon as his team lost, he was like, yeah, guys, I got to go.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out of here. Peace out.
I'm out of here. I'm like, oh, man, you were just so...
No, listen. The crazy thing about Colt is he called me on Discord, and I heard his voice, and I was like, yo, how old are you? And then he's like 11. I was like, bro, all right, you gotta hit me in the chat. I cannot talk to you, bro.
Right.
I was like, you got to go in the chat because everything that you talk about needs to be documented. I cannot have you calling me on Discord. Like, I did not know how old you are, and you're like donating to the super chat and shit. Like, right. Bro, I can't have that.
I was like, bro, you better put your mama's credit card back in her purse.
It's like, yo, I can't do it.
He was for real about the chores, dude. I thought that was just a joke, but he was right.
Bro,
he was like, I gotta go do dishes.
Listen, I asked him because I'm like, yo, like, where's this money? Because I really wanted him to be like, oh, I took my mom's credit card, and I'd have just been like, yo, tell your mom to get on the phone right now. But he hit me. He was like, oh, I do my chores, and I get an allowance every week, and my mom doesn't care because I can spend. She's letting me spend my money on whatever I want. And I was just like, yo. All right, so from now on out, when you want to talk to me, it's got to be in the chat because I can't be having you call me on Discord, bro. Like you're too young.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, like that's why I try to tell people, like when it comes to like these chats or when it comes to these streams, I try to keep it as clean as possible, right? Like we've got older people, we've got middle-aged people, and we literally have kids on these streams, and like people will like say like dumb, like we got only like 11 people here now, but people say like dumb shit, and it's like, yo, we can't have that. We can't have it. Like,
right. It's kind of like those other things that the reason why I picked you instead of those other ones. We got guys saying, give me a donation and I'll take a shot. $50, I'll give you a shout out and I'll take a shot just for you. And I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy.
So now we got to deal with a drunk person. And people were doing it. You know, I watched the live and stuff, and they were sending $50, $100.
Yeah. Yeah. They want to see him get drunk. You know, they feel like they have like that control.
I'll do a shotgun and 2 shots if you send $100, and I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah. See, I'll never sell out. I don't care how big the channel gets, whether it gets bigger or it doesn't. I'll always be the same person. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that since I started this. I haven't changed. Now you just see my face. But, you know.
I was telling you, like, when they had commercials and everything, maybe popped in and say a few things, and then maybe they wouldn't, you know.
So this is what it is. They basically, how YouTube checks, right? They're looking at the first, I want to say, 10 to 15 minutes of video, right? Depending on how long the video is. So they want to see your face. They want to see you engaged. And I'm 100% sure that they're not checking the stream 2 hours in. They're definitely checking it within the first 10 to 15 minutes to see what's going on. And that's kind of like why I'm at where I'm at. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, if I was to run a stream tomorrow and I was to be in it for like an hour, if halftime came and I had to step away, they're not going to talk about that. But they weren't seeing my face on the first 15, 30 minutes, whatever. So, like, yo, you can't just use the audio. You got to throw your face in there. And I'm like, all right, I get it. Like I said, I wasn't even really mad. It was like a slap on the wrist. They're like, hey, you can't monetize for 30 days. You got to reapply. Okay, cool, whatever. I'm doing it different now, which I like it because it's more personal, right? I'm learning stuff now about you guys that I didn't know. So in a sense, it actually worked out. But here's the kicker to this whole situation. And we're gonna come to an end in like 10 minutes. Here's the real kicker. The whole situation that led to, and I'm going to bring up the name now. I feel like I can bring up the name. So, Shasi was with us from like the beginning almost.
Right.
As far as I can remember.
Shout out to Shasi.
Yeah.
Excellent Wrench Gang member.
Yes.
Big shout out.
Well,
No.
I don't think Trevbot knows.
No, bro.
I don't know.
Listen, buddy.
Shots.
Listen.
Shots.
No,
Yeah.
listen, please.
Just
what
listen.
happened?
Listen, bro. Listen. So I basically dropped a post saying, hey, I was demonetized. I'm going to have to make some changes to the channel, and this is just what it is. So then she goes on this rant. She was just like, oh, well, Jay, you know, this is exactly what she said. She said, you think that you're going to go gold overnight and it's not going to happen, and you know you're begging for donations. I'm like, yo, I never begged for donations one time. I'm like, if somebody wanted to donate, they just did it. Now we asked for likes. Yeah, I'm going to ask for likes because that's what helps the stream grow. But I've never begged for donations. So then, like, she kept going, and then she was like, well, you do spend tons of time on here, so, you know, I could definitely, like, understand, like, why you're aggravated. And I'm like, yo, I'm not mad about the money. I gave away money before I was even monetized. So that should let you know, like, it's never about the money. I didn't need the money. So, like, she kept going in, and she was just like, oh, don't
forget about the gambling part.
Yeah, no, I'm getting to it. So she was like, oh, you know, you were taking the donations and gambling. I'm like, yo, you can go back on the streams and see that I haven't got enough money to go to the damn casino with. So how am I taking donations and gambling them? So I was like taken back. So at this point, I'm like, yo, like, are you crazy? Like, what's wrong with you? Now, here's the kicker, though. I remember that when I ran the giveaway on the World Series stream, when we gave away $200, she was mad that she didn't win. She said, "You know what, Jay, you should just give that to charity." Why would I give money to a charity if I'm doing a giveaway on the YouTube channel? Like, it didn't make sense, but I just brushed it off, because we had like 7,000 people in here. Like, I'm not really paying attention to it, right? Because there was so much going on. But now that I look back at it, I understand, because the first thing when she commented on my post about being demonetized, she was like, I can't give any money. I'm broke right now. I just got denied for food stamps. And I'm like, yo, nobody asked you for money. Nobody asked you for anything.
Yeah.
I'm basically just stating, like, yo, this is what's happening. Like, if you guys want to help the channel, you can help the channel. Here's a way how. She literally took it personal. But then I had to take a step back, and I realized that she had stuff going on in her own life. So it was like a trigger for her, and she just took all her frustration out on me. So, yeah, bro, Shassi's gone. She's out of here.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's twisted. That's twisted.
It was
I mean, like, there was a couple comments.
I mean, if you even took your money for the donations and went to gamble with it, no one should have a problem with what you do with your own freaking money.
But see, and the sad part about it is
but the thing is, you don't count another man's pocket or another woman's pocket.
Exactly.
Whatever you do with it, you do with it. It's not. Listen, Jordan, they just dropped $200 to go out buy dog food for your dog. You know what I mean? Like,
and here's the crazy thing about it is, you guys have watched me give the money back, right? I got the $50 donation from the one guy during the Braves, and guess what? We gave that to somebody, and I got the receipts for it. So, like I said, I really think that.
And we gave $100 to that one guy, and he turned around and donated $50 back for another person to win another $50.
And we literally gave $200 that game.
Want any of that money?
None of it. I didn't keep it. I gave away $200 that night.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like I said,
dude, I'm shook, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. Like, cause I thought she was part of the family, dude. I thought she was part of the Wrench Gang.
Listen, and that's exactly how I felt, because like I sat there and I'm like, yo, like, she's been with us since day one, like hours and hours of being on the stream, like every day in and out. And I'm like, yo, this makes no sense to me. Like, what's wrong with you? But then I realized that she's going through like a hard time in her life. But at the same time, like, I don't respect it, because you don't come at people like that. Like, if you have an issue, just like with you, you brought up something going in your life, man, whatever I can do, I'm going to help you. She could have been like, yo, Jay, I'm going through some stuff. Or, hey, Gay, I'm going through some stuff. We'd have been like, yo, like, we can help you out. You're like family to us. But like, she's seen it as like me either getting and giving away money and her needing money as like a threat or something. Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, she's gone, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Like, I got a lot of shit going on in my life, but I do my best not to put that on you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to keep what's going on in my personal life away from the chat. Well, I don't put it on you.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's like, no, here's the thing. I would rather you say, yo, this is what I got going on, because obviously if we don't hear from somebody, we're at a level now to where if we don't hear from somebody, it's like weird. Right? Like, if you're not if people aren't on like football streams on Sunday, it's like, yo, where's Selena? Where's Trev? Where's Jonas? You know, like, and like now I know, like, if Jonas isn't on, he's like taking care of his kids or he's doing something with the family, right? You learn that about people. So when something like that happens, it's like, yo, like, you weren't really who we thought you were.
Right. There was now that I think about it, there was a couple red flags, like comments that she had made about like being an Olympic softball player and shit like that. And it was not adding up. Or like, why do football players wear gloves? That's a bitch move to me. You know, and I'm just thinking like, what is going on right now? And like, she knew a guy who was like deep into the office of the Bengals who knew all the shit about Zach Taylor, and it's just like, I mean, like, I get it, it's the internet and anybody can say anything, like, oh, I'm fucking Mr. Monopoly, and you know, like, nobody knows any different. But at the same time, like, I gave her benefit of the doubt,
Yeah.
because it's our family, you know, and
Yeah.
man, I did not know that. That's crazy, man.
See you tomorrow, Philip. You know, have a good time and be safe deer hunting out there, bro. See you tomorrow. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
get you a whitetail for sure, Philip.
no.
That's how I knew on Thursday who it was, because when you went to list off the mods and you didn't say his name, that's how I knew. I was like, bingo.
Yeah.
I just found out.
And don't get me wrong, like I didn't want to be that person because, like I said, like whenever someone subscribes to this channel or they're on a stream or whatever, I'm like, yo, like you're a part of the family. Like we're a sports family here. Like look, we've been sitting on here talking for 2 hours and 30 minutes. We literally got through what we were going to talk about, and we're still talking. Like that should let people know that's actually listening. Like it's beyond sports at this point. So. To
we could do a list on who we're going to pick, whether not point wise, just who we think is going to pick, and do a little Jonas went 6-5 and I won 4-6, or you know what I mean, like we should do that.
Let's do it then. I got all right. So I got Bill. So we'll do 3. Well, the 3 that I'm going to stream is the Bills and Jets, the Seahawks. And the Packers and the Chiefs and Raiders. Marissa, what's up? How was your birthday?
What's up, Marissa? Happy belated birthday.
She said she's late, I know, but still showed up. See, that's love right there, Marissa. That's you keep it 100.
No, you just told her team's gonna lose tomorrow, and she's gonna be crying. But tell her I need my baseball sign. As long as it's Solar, Duval, and Freeman to sign that baseball, I'll take that. Thank you.
All right, so I'm streaming the Bills and Jets, Seahawks and Packers, Chiefs and Raiders. What are your picks? What are your picks?
Man, oh man. See that Jets and the Bills game? Oh, man, they're playing at the Jets. They did lose to – I'm going to take the Jets over the Bills.
I feel like you're doing that just to go against me, but that's fine. That's fine.
It's not a trend, dude. It's like #KJ right now.
New York Jets beat playoff teams.
Okay.
Let's see, the Titans lost to the Jets, but the Titans beat the Bills.
I'm typing this out right now. So we're just going straight up. Jets are going to win.
I'm going Jets by 3 at least. I know, yeah.
By 3?
I think they're going to play.
All right, so I'm typing this out now. I'm going to save it.
They're playing at Buffalo? No, I don't even see the Jets winning that game. But when you have home field and your crowd's out there, things could.
So,
but I could be dead wrong. You know what I mean? Bills could blow the wheels off the Jets, especially having Dawson Knox back. Because he's a threat, man. He knows how to find open space.
So before we finish the picks, I got to fill Marissa, and Marissa says, "Is John Gruden saying what's the point of suing?" Marissa, he's basically suing because he's saying that the NFL basically convoluted a plan to make him either quit or get fired so that they didn't have to pay him out the rest of his contract. Pretty much.
Yeah. Basically a defamation charge.
Yeah, defamation.
They're saying they ruined his reputation and he won't get into the Hall of Fame for creating the Tampa 2 game.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah. All right.
He's more worried about his legacy than what he actually did wrong.
Well, and the money. We got to say the money.
Yeah, and the money.
Part. Right. All right, Jonas. Seattle against the Packers.
Oh, I'm going Seahawks. But see, I was talking about all the teams, even if you're not streaming them. You know what I mean? You know how you put those 4 on the bottom?
Yeah.
We just go through. Because I'm writing them down right now as we speak.
Okay.
And we'll just have a little, a friendly competition,
Yeah, yeah.
Like
so,
which ones we get right, and which ones we can laugh at each other and be like, oh, yeah, you picked that team, didn't you, buddy? Like, you guys will make fun of me tomorrow and be like, that's the reason why you should have picked the Jets, Jonas.
So then to keep it short, because what we'll do is next week, we'll do like the whole week. But to keep it short for this week, we'll just do the Bills, Jets, Seattle Packers, and Chiefs and Raiders. And you've got.
Oh, man, let's do the Carolina Cardinals, too.
Yeah, we can do that one.
I'm going Carolina.
Okay, so Panthers, Cardinals? All right.
Yeah.
And you're going Carolina?
I'm going Carolina, buddy.
All right, Carolina. Chiefs and Raiders, who you going?
I'm going Chiefs.
Chiefs. All right. I'm going Bills on Bills and Jets. I'm going Packers on Packers Seattle. I'm going Chiefs as well, so we're together on that one against the Raiders. For Panthers Cardinals, I'm gonna go the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are gonna take it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair call.
But we're talking about the same Cardinals that almost got beaten by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they don't have no J.B. White either.
Trap game. Marissa says, all I know is the Falcons will win tomorrow. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
So I want 2 baseball signs if the Cowboys win.
Marissa, Jonas said he wants 2 baseballs if the Cowboys win. She heard you, bro. She's on the stream. She heard you. Serious Biz says Chiefs. I don't know. My opinion says Chiefs won't win. Listen, I really think y'all are not understanding why we're saying the Chiefs are going to win. This is one of those close games on paper, but Patrick Mahomes is getting sick of everyone talking shit. So I really see him coming out and slinging that ball and getting his team essentially the victory the hard way.
And the division is up for anyone, any of them to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think at this point, Andy Reid is so pissed. And you guys thought there's more people on that team than just Pat Mahomes. You got, Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are probably pretty pissed, too. They haven't scored touchdowns.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you got to look at it like this. You know, those guys get paid a paycheck, too, and they've got sponsors and endorsements that they got to answer to for when they don't perform. So,
right.
You know,
and you don't build a team to beat the league. You build a team to beat your division.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that's our picks for tomorrow. Obviously, if you're new to the channel, we've got 12 people here. We've been on here for about 2.5 hours now. Make sure you subscribe. We're gonna go ahead and do 3 games tomorrow. I'm streaming Bills, Jets, Seahawks, Packers, and Chiefs, Raiders. I'll be on for all 3 of those games. Looking forward to them. Tomorrow's going to be nuts. I feel like we're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. Also, the Lions and the Steelers, Ben Roethlisberger is out. I think tomorrow will be the Lions' one and only win.
First one.
That's what I'm talking about, Jay. I feel you on this. Dude, I'm so stoked.
I definitely think of it. Okay, so Marissa's got her pick. She has Titans, Bills, Steelers, Jaguars upset pick, Bucks, Patriots, Falcons, Cardinals, Chargers, Packers, Broncos, Raiders, and Rams. That's a nice little parlay you got there. You might want to go put that in.
Dude, if you plug that in on a no-risk 10 bet, dude.
That'd be some big money if that happens. So you might want to find somewhere to put that parlay in. I might even do it just for shits and giggles, for real. I might just do it.
And then split it with her.
Right? I definitely would. I'll literally take that risk. And if it happens that way, I would totally split it with you. I'd make a video about it and everything, 100%. Straight up. All right, so yeah, we got our picks. We know what we're streaming tomorrow. We're gonna call it a night, guys. This was great. I really enjoyed this. I really did.
Yeah.
And
Thank you for having me, guys.
we got to get Ty on here, yo. Like Ty missed out. He definitely missed out.
Yeah, he's probably sleeping or something.
Yeah.
He's got his priorities in line.
Right. Yeah, but we're gonna start doing this. Try to maybe not every week, but if we can do it. You know, every other week, something like that. We'll plan it out. But yeah, I like this and try to get other wrench gang on here. Marissa, you're definitely invited. You know, you can just call in or however you want to do it. Try to get the whole gang together. That'd be cool, yo. That like really would. Like we could set up like a podcast with like everybody and like everybody's got like the webcam and like we're all talking.
Everybody's in different areas.
Yeah, that'd be.
Yeah, I like the fact that like YouTube demonetized you only brought us closer together.
Exactly, right?
And the channel's only going to grow, and we learn from it, and now we're just going to evolve and adapt to get over it.
Yeah. Because listen, here's the thing, right? And Ty and Jonas can be a testament to this. I give back to my wrench gang, right? Like if you guys are helping me, and we're in this together, like I'm not trying to just eat and not give you guys bread as well. Like we all gonna eat, and I want to take care of my team. That's the kind of person that I am. Marissa, if you still here and you hear me, like that's where we're at. You're helping out in the chat, you're keeping things clean. Once I'm back monetizing, like I'm taking care of people who rock with me. So it's not just you guys are being on here and being on time and putting your life into this and all that kind of stuff. If there's a monetary factor that comes from it, I'm gonna look out. I'm gonna help take care of my team because you guys deserve it as well. It's not just one person on here, it's you guys too.
Well, since I'm not on the live, tell Marissa to write down her picks and then throw it to me tomorrow when we stream Bills and the Jets game, and I'll write them down. So I want to do mine. Mine real quick.
I'm gonna take a picture of it and just send it to you now. I'll text it to you.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
But I'm going Titans, Colts, Browns, Jets, Lions, Tampa, Carolina, Chargers, Denver, Seattle, KC. And the Dallas Cowboys. I had to put them last just so she can hear me say the Dallas Cowboys.
I just
How about them boys?
Jonas be like, I take Dallas over all 31 teams.
all 31. All 31 teams.
All 31, dude.
See, I'm an NFL fan. I love the Cowboys.
Listen, I respect it because I'm gonna
against the Broncos last week. Man, I was heated.
Yeah.
My kids were like looking at me like, "Dad, calm down." I'm like,
"Listen,
what is wrong with you, Prescott? Something's wrong with you."
I know that you. No, I know for a fact because Selena was in that chat too. You and Selena were pissed off that week when they lost.
Yeah.
When they lost to Denver, you and Selena were hot, and I was just like, "Yo, I don't think I've seen you mad or her mad like that." She was mad on the because she's actually been with me since the Suns and the finals. That's how long Selena's been around.
Wow.
Yeah, she was mad when the Suns lost because we were both going for the Suns in the NBA finals. They lost. Selena was hot, like because she's from Arizona, so the Cardinals. Right. I think she's like in the baseball too, and then the Cowboys and the Suns. Those are her teams. So like when the Suns started losing in the finals, like her whole attitude changed. Like I just tell, like she was like a little firecracker, and it's just cool because you get to see what gets people going and the love for the sports are on the
whole rent game teams are going to lose that week, and you're like no, and sure enough,
and they did. It was terrible. It was
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, she's got an upset for the Jags. See, I was wanting to do that too, but I don't know, man. Indianapolis defense is something else. But I was almost there too. Man.
And see, Marissa, here's the thing about the Falcons, right? They'll get ahead, but they can't keep a lead to save their lives. Like, they can't. They just cannot keep a lead to save their lives. I don't know what it is.
Well, she must.
I mean, she may be onto something with that Jags upset, because I mean, like, Minnesota are choke artists. So I mean, like,
yeah,
she may be onto something there.
Kind of like the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts. God. Good old two sprains over there throwing the ball. Got Aaron Donald wrapped around his waist trying to fucking throw the ball.
Before we go, I had $1,000 on the Colts when they played the Ravens. Y'all remember that game? I lost my mind. Blankenship missed 3 field goals. Had one blocked. I literally lost my mind. After that, I lost complete faith for the Colts, and I have not basically been disappointed, because that it took a part of me. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely took a part of my my Colts ambition. I will never bet on them again, ever.
Killed themselves, huh?
Man, listen, they were supposed to win the game 3 times.
Right?
3 times. Like,
and to be fair, that is super uncharacteristic of Hot Rod, dude. Like, I've never seen that dude miss 3 kicks, I think, in his entire career.
Blankenship?
Like, I don't...
It was Blankenship.
Yeah, Rodrigo Blankenship.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever missed 3 kicks in a single game. I don't think that's ever happened.
It's never happened. The guy was at, like, the 30 and then, like, the 20-something. And he missed. And then the one was blocked. It was like... And then here comes Lamar, right? It was like a fairy tale. Comes back.
Yeah.
It made no
Mr.
sense.
E.
I swear it was a Vegas money grab. I still believe it. I do. I whoever can say whatever, I really believe that was a Vegas money grab, because there's no way that this guy is supposed to miss 3 field goals in one game.
No, he's like top 5 kicker in the entire league.
Exactly. But if you remember, the week before that, there was a bunch of kickers missing field goals. It was like the games were just fixed.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
Cincinnati missed like 3. Green Bay missed 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like, they were like on the sideline with the phone, like, missed the kick because we haven't got enough money in yet. We need you to miss a couple more kicks. We need more money in. We need more bets.
Yeah. But it's cool. We don't play in domes, and we can blame it on the wind. It's all good.
But what I don't get is that these kickers, just to kick an extra point, they're so much closer. But by God, if it's 50, 45 yards out, by God, they'll hit it right dead in the middle. But if they're up close, man, it's like wide left, no, wide right.
Yeah. Well, Justin Tucker's out here breaking records. Like, are you kidding me? But then he can't hit a 28-yarder.
What was that one game? What was the Bears game? He was so close of kicking. Only if they got like 5 more yards, he would have nailed it.
Yeah.
Remember the Bears kicker?
Yep.
He was so close, man. So close. I thought they were going to have a win over Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, you got like Matt Prater, who's been in the league for like ever, and he's like, oh, yeah, dude, guys are nailing 70-yarders in warm-up all the time. It's just like, when do you have the time to actually use that shit? And it's like, wait, you guys are kicking 70-yarders in warm-ups? Like, put that on the field.
It doesn't make any sense.
And
they're making them. Like, it makes no sense. Marissa says,
yeah, he's like, yeah, we've been doing it for years. Like, he's like, we can kick 70 yards, no problem.
Marissa said, did you see that missed 25-yard field goal last week? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it just makes no sense. Completely insane.
Well, if the Bills would have kicked that field goal against Tennessee Titans, we might be talking about a different ball game.
Yeah. That's the truth.
I think it's fire your head coach.
Sean McDermott? Fire Sean McDermott?
Too. But by God, let's believe in Josh Allen in overtime and not 4th and 1, and the other team now gets to kneel it out.
Well, let's.
Man, that's a hot take there, Joe.
The Bills should have kicked that field goal, right? Everyone's like, "Oh no, you go for it."
I was going for the Bills to win.
I was at work and we were arguing about it. They were like, "Oh no, you go for it. You know, you show your balls." I'm like, "No, you kick the field goal, you go overtime, and you take the win."
Yeah,
right. That's what you.
They were scared of Henry. They were scared of Henry.
Yeah.
If you put Henry in overtime, he's going to score a touchdown.
But
like, how stupid do you want your team to look?
But at the same time, it's like, okay, they have to get the ball, right? So if you get the ball first, you're most likely going to score. Your Bills' offense is going to score if they get the ball first. Now, granted, if Tennessee gets the ball first, then yeah, Henry's probably going to score. But I would rather take that chance than going for it. It didn't make sense to me analytically, right? We're supposed to go by stats and analytics. It doesn't make sense analytically.
And that's what I was telling Josh about that. It will come down to the wire, and it literally did. Only just I wish the Bills would have just kicked the field goal, taken it in overtime. Who cares? We've already had like 4 other games that went into overtime.
Yeah.
But it would have made the game interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys,
kind of like that Green Bay call during the NFC Championship against Tampa Bay. It's like, whose decision was it to fucking kick that field goal when you got Aaron Rodgers and Devontae on the 3?
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, it came down to analytics, and it's like, dumb call, dude.
Yeah.
Dumb call. Should have went with the quarterback.
Guys, it's been 2 hours and 51 minutes. This has probably been one of the greatest conversations I've had about football in a while. And I'm hoping that we can definitely do this at least once a week, if not every other week, because this is definitely cool. Anyone who's here, if you've enjoyed the chat, thank you for sticking with us and listening to us in our wild banter at times. We are a football family. If you want to be a part of this family, you can subscribe. And we will see you tomorrow.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Peace out.